Barbados, sweet paradise. But the politricksters, full of lies. They want mash up the culture, tear it to the ground. But the people, we stand strong, we hold the rock down. Wake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up. Oh. Wake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up. It's time to rise, time to see clear, time to open we eyes. Tell a friend to tell a friend if you don't mind. Real news for the people in real time. Enough love, enough respect. Welcome to politically incorrect. Politically incorrect. Politically incorrect. Enough love, enough respect. Welcome to politically incorrect. Politically incorrect. Politically incorrect. Wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up. Hey. Wake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up. Wake up.
Yes, family, greetings. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Wazira Menin. Y'all already know, one perfect balance. Welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. And if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. Y'all already know how it goes, man. It's just, oh man, there's so much going on, so much. Sexy D, I know you was here from early. I was backstage watching and telling myself, you've been here from like a good while now, man. But give thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go tell a friend to tell a friend. Y'all not gonna believe tonight's program. You see, I up on early, right? So you know, if I up on here this early, I had to make sure I put everything on pause. Everything on pause. I got the brew right here too. The mix is that kind of night. So go get a pen, go get a piece of paper. I got some videos, I got some information. In fact, let me put the number on the screen just in case somebody feel like calling in. Maybe they could relate to what has to be said tonight. You know, is this a matter of national security? This is literally a matter of national security of the highest order. Somebody go call Wilfred, Abram. Somebody go call Dale Marshall. I can't even make this any more plainer. Go call it. Somebody go text them, message them. In fact, I hope they got me on Pegasus or Cellbrite. Either way, let them know we talking about them tonight. Go record this for evidence. Go record this for evidence, both of you. Because it's gonna be that kind of night, man. Straight up. We ain't scared of no ghosts. None. So we gonna make it clear tonight where we at, man. But anyhow, I gotta shout out a few folks. Y'all already know how this go, man. Shout out to the family. Shout out to Fade, first of all. Maria, don't say a word. I got you. For sure. Shout out to the whole Barbados National Congress. Straight up, whole different family, whole different order. Shout out to Kata, by the way. Shout out to St. Vincent, the whole Yarman. Shout out to the people, the good farmers, good traders. Shout out to the whole Kata group. You know, well, all I can say is just thank you, full stop. And Barbados right now, man, I mean, is this a riot in the making? Is the question I have tonight. Is this a riot in the making? Shout out to the Zion family, the whole family. I see you up in here early too. Miss Apple, Candy Apple. Shout out to the family in T-Dot, all the family in Toronto. Toronto locked on, Atlanta locked on. I could see that. Florida locked on. I give thanks. Shout out to you, Maria. Great being. Wonderful people. Maureen, good night to you too. We Manuel and family. We holding down this rock. I'm awake. That's right. Wake up, my people. Wake up. It's that time, family. These are the best of times, man. Maria says she loved the intro. Listen, Maria, if I even tell you how that came to be, you wouldn't even believe me. I mean, there are people watching from near and far and willing to do things, man. I am so humbled. I am so humbled by the experiences I've gotten through the family. And I thank you all, man. Good night to you too, Thelma. Good night, Emmanuel, everyone watching. Shout to the matriarch. Y'all already know how it go up in UK and family. My sister from another mother. Great shout out to you. Daffodil and the whole family, the Daffodil crew. Daffodil crew. Flashbacks, man. You know how it go already. King Alfred, greetings to you too. My Rasta man from another planet. Jackie, we see you too. We see you. Go tell a friend and tell a friend. It's that kind of night. It's that kind of night. It's that kind of night. All I'm going to tell you is y'all ain't going to believe tonight, man. I'm telling you, y'all ain't going to believe it. Y'all ain't going to believe it. Y'all remember that we had this conversation a while back. Like we've been spoke about this day coming. Well, it is upon us. We're going to check it out. Somebody go call Mr. Thorne too, by the way. One of y'all, one of his, yeah, go give him somebody send him a message, man. Tell him to call in, man, because I got some videos to play. Yes, I have our prime servant. She has a few things to say, but we also have some other stuff to say, and we're going to get to it as well. So shout out to Sean and the whole family, man. Wait, you saw me at the supermarket and you ain't shout me? Well, I don't understand the science. Wait, hold on. That was you shouting me, and you didn't tell me that was you shouting me? Because I remember the guy shouted me, and yeah, but I don't know if that was you shouting me. If that was you shouting me when you shouted me, let me know that was you, man. Because if that was you, I ain't like how you move. I'm telling you right now, I ain't like how you move, man. You could have told me something. You could have said, yo, yeah, that was me, man. You was all clandestine, all. I don't blame you, though. I don't blame you. Sean said, if that was you, let me know, man. Let me know. Correct. We holding down this rock. That's right. We not just holding it down. We gonna lift it up too. In the name of the Most High, we gonna lift this rock up. We ain't playing that. Empress, good night to you and the whole family. Shout out to the whole family down there in the Beerland area. Y'all in Becker's Road section. Y'all already know what time it is. Good night to everyone. Blessings to all. Monique, Monique, man. I didn't even know what to tell you. Good to see you though, man. Mr. Smith is in the building, man. Greetings to you too, all the crews. You know what time it is. We give thanks. I still don't have a like button by my comments, but much respect still. Look, here we're going on, right, Empress? You might got to join the YouTube family, because YouTube is really where it's at. YouTube don't have no issues. Facebook, I don't really. I broadcast on Facebook, but believe you me, YouTube is where it's at. YouTube, the restrictions and all the different things and violations and messages I be getting from people reporting me and stuff. Like, I don't even study Facebook like that no more, man. So if you want, you can slide all over to YouTube, or you can hold it down for Facebook. We gonna figure it out, man. We gonna figure it out. Elder, listen, man, you gonna live long here. Only tonight I said I got to call you. It's a must. First light, shout me. If you don't hear me, just give me a buzz. Give thanks to YouTube family and the whole Dominica family. All the best coming from Dominica. Dominica, we love you. One Caribbean. Elder, we got to talk some new developments for sure. Facebook, because I'm not seeing some people posting. Yeah, the same thing Maria's saying, Empress is saying too. Facebook, there's my personal page, then there's the YouTube, then there's a politically incorrect page on Facebook. So there are two Facebook pages, but like I said, you may got to join the YouTube family straight up. But anyhow, either way, get in where you fit in and make it happen. Shout out to Roderick too, Mr. Jones, General, I see you, man. Blessings to the family and to everyone. Straight up. All right, yes, yeah, that was you, Sean. Come on, Sean. Yo, you imagine Sean butt me in the supermarket aisles, and rather than tell me it's Sean, he tell me, man, you tall, yeah. Yeah, you thought it was short, right? You let that camera fool you. I deliberately put the camera that way. Don't get tired with it. Giant in the building, man. Giant. That was a surprise to you, right? I bet it was, Sean. I bet it was. But it's all love, my brother. It's all love. It's good seeing you, man. But you could have said that. I would have had something for you, man. For sure. But it's all right next time, man. Shout out to the brother. Blessing to you too, Shane. Lioness on the rise. Greetings to all. Yes, hail King Emmanuel. Power to the people all day, every day. You already know what time it is, man. Shout out to Lisa as well. Love, 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 love. Listen, family, it's that kind of night, so we just going to jump right into it. We ain't going to play around. There's a lot of things being said, a lot of things going on, and it happening fast. That's why I was telling y'all, think about the last few weeks, all the distractions. I telling y'all it was pure. This tint. Everybody focus on tint, and it didn't make no sense. And now you see why it didn't make no sense, because it was rushing quietly all along to push this so-called bill through. But guess what? It's a bill. So the question is, who gonna pay it? Because if it ain't got your name on it, you shouldn't pay it. So I'm gonna tell you this right now, first and foremost. I've been working on a suspect. Well, let me just say this first of all, before I even start off on the Pegasus conversation. There's other software other than Pegasus. Pegasus is probably the most nefarious one, but I'll be going to talk about that a little later too, because I'm going to show you what they're telling you. Did the Attorney General lie to the people of Barbados? Because if you knew for a fact what they're about to do, you would not agree to it. Even people who support the BLP, I'm telling you, if there was ever an Achilles heel for this party, this is it. I mean, smartly, man, you know, I know you got a lot of folks intimidated and whatnot, right? But I can tell you something tonight. Boy. Ooh-wee. This is going to be interesting in a minute. Real interesting. You see, in fact, let me just jump right into it. Frank, I see you too, Frank. Blessings to you too. So love is the answer. I totally agree, Frank. And love promotes peace. But if you want peace, Frank, and you want love to reign, Frank, history have told us, if you want peace, you got to prepare for war. You got to. Know that. Dominica is my roots. Wait, Brother Lloyd, you got somebody here hailing from Dominica and Barbados here. All this time, Jell, you masquerading. You was one of we, man. And by we, I mean we, the people of the region. We, the people of the region. That's what I'm talking about. But anyhow, let me go jump into this thing tonight regarding the whole Pegasus and the interception bill, and, you know, did the Attorney General lie? And, you know, we're going to get into all that. But before I do that, there's something I have to address first and foremost. That is of a matter of national security. Now, I'm going to speak on two aspects of it. Well, three aspects of it. Three complete aspects of it. In fact, let me go ahead first of all and get the image, because I think the image is important to put that up as well. Let me go ahead and put that on the screen so that we clear what I'm speaking about. Wait. Oh, here it is. Oh, I thought I had it here. I thought I had it. Boy, that was close. Let me put this up on the screen real quick so that we clear on what we're talking about tonight. Add it to the screen. Image file. This one. Okay. Add it to the screen. There you well, not that one. I gotta remove that one first. I'll remove that one. I'll just go ahead and add this one. There you go. Let me just position myself real nice and neat in the corner right here. So y'all recognize this building, do you? For those who recognize this building, go ahead and let me know you recognize this building, man. You know, this is one of those days, man. You know, I remember 4 years ago, last time we were here, we went through the time tunnel. We went to the future. Tonight, we going into the past. So let me get the time warp running and let me go into the past. Do y'all remember about 4 years ago, we had a situation in Barbados called COVID? And this thing called frontline workers were expected to, in fact, hold on, let me get some eyes up in the sky, because in case some folks want to call in. I don't know how this is going to work out tonight, but we're going to see if it clicking. COVID was the thing back then, and we had a few challenges, but Barbados called on the frontline workers to perform duties, you know, come and work and put your life at risk, and, you know, that kind of conversation. In reality, at some point, at the end of it, they gave them a coin. Remember the coins? They gave them a coin with a fish on it, a blue fish or something along them lines, in commemoration or observation or some sort of something to recognize those frontline workers, the nurses, auxiliary staff, and people who work in the government, officers, and but also the prison, Barbados Prison Service. And you can imagine when it was reported that COVID had struck the prison. Basically, they said that COVID was in the prison, and therefore, then people's lives were at risk working there, and they had to make sure they get home safe and test everybody and all kind of stuff. But anyhow, so the prison itself had the people working, which was the staff. Now, it's been brought to my attention recently. I don't even know where to start with this, man. I think I'm going to start right here. I'm going to start in the deep end of the pool. Family, if you have a loved one incarcerated, whether on remand or whether they are serving a sentence, I'm going to say that you need to tune into this tonight. This is of utmost importance. Me personally speaking, when it comes to the institution, I have my own reservation. I would not wish prison. I would not wish prison for even my worst enemy. The environment is no place to be, because in reality, unless you decide to do better for yourself, it isn't conducive towards that kind of growth. It is, you have to make a decision to do right and sort your affairs out, whatever affairs you have to sort out. And so individuals who are remand or sentenced are conflicted with all these challenges on a daily basis. It's an ongoing process. But one of the things we don't look at is the staff who work there. I remember in North America, I think the staff is required to leave every 90 days or maybe every 4 months or so, 120 days. I'm not sure exactly, but they're not allowed to stay on like for a whole year, then take a vacation, because it has been reported that psychologically, because they work there for so long, they too end up having a certain, it impacts their mental capacity to function as stable people. It literally messes with your mind. Incarceration is a mind tool, and it affects the people who work there as well. So I'm not sure how the staff here in Barbados work or the region, but from my experience, staff in the Caribbean don't get that kind of privilege. They got to stay on it. They get about 28 days a year called vacation. Other than that, you're fending for yourself. But remember 4 years ago in COVID, because it was such an environment, individuals had to work more hours than they were supposed to because of the different things and the tests and all the other stuff, whatever it is. Well, it was brought to my attention that there's a large number of staff who are still working, obviously, but have not been paid since COVID. Yes, they get their salary, but the overtime that they would have worked during COVID at the time, to my understanding, rather than working, in some cases, they were working on 12-hour days. I just saw that peg-a-lich, right? But that's all right. I just saw that. But they're working longer hours. They call it overtime. Well, if you're working overtime, to my knowledge, overtime comes with certain conditions. And so you're working overtime, and you work overtime, these extended hours, for 3 years. 3 years, in some cases, some individuals work 3 years, these extended hours, these extended overtime repeatedly. And up to today, they have not been paid. In fact, I was told the condition in the prison is so serious that right now, currently, roughly about 20 to 30% of the staff is on sick leave. Now, hold on, listen to me very carefully. An environment that has allocated a number of individuals in order for it to function efficiently and safely has a required amount of individuals that need to be present. But if you got about 20 to 30% of the staff, between 20 and 30% of the staff on sick leave, and on any given day, roughly about 15 individuals, 10 to 15 people call in sick on any given day, then it means you operating on a skeleton staff. In fact, up to yesterday, the morning shift, when they came on the afternoon, there was nobody came to relieve them, as I was told. No one really showed up to work to relieve the staff that was on from the shift before. So guess what? They had to operate with some K9s and a few emergency response personnel to kind of keep the facility in check. Now imagine this. Now, if this is true, and bear in mind, I have not, I'm just following what was shared. Imagine if this is true, really and truly. The amount of individuals who escaped recently from the prison should want anybody to question the superintendent. Like, who is the superintendent? I remember it used to be a guy called, what's his name? Nurse. Oh, Nurse, boy, I tell you. Anyhow, yeah, I'll leave that at that. But anyhow, there's supposed to be a new guy there, a new someone that's there now, a new superintendent. But how is he functioning? Who? Look, man, let me see what's going on here real quick. First of all, let me check the comments real quick. Is anybody aware that the prison in Barbados right now is operating on a skeleton staff, which is a matter of national security? You get one guy escape, people get worried. Imagine if 10 guys were to escape, or 15 guys, or 20 guys from Dodds escape. Is it that they are letting it happen this way? Because don't forget, the police now got themselves some sophisticated new toys. You got the defense force now who are being given the capacity to function as police. And I did a program on that a few years ago. And we talked about it, how dangerous that is to put soldiers in the capacity of police. It does not work. It has been tried before in several countries, and the outcome is always the same. You cannot take an individual who is a trained killer, who is trained to kill, who has one switch on or off, and expect them to function in a capacity in a society and do logistical works as a peace officer. They're not trained to keep the peace. They're trained to kill. Cold blood, quite frankly. And it's a psychological program they have to go through in order to turn a human being, an individual who is normally empathetic, to turn them into a killer, to kill on command. Now you want to tell me we had a whole program on that. We're going to discuss that in another program, one thing at a time. That's to show you, right, that the individuals that run this particular, a part of this administration called the Barbados Labour Party, they are colonial puppets at best, because the only thing you see them doing is maintaining a plantocracy to keep law and order, to keep the stock in check. Trust me, they cannot sincerely have your best interests at heart. And tonight they're going to prove it. Give me a second. Now check this out. Imagine, right, that in the last 18 months, let me say 2 years, we've had close to 5 or 6 individuals escape from custody of officers who, in some cases, this might be an indication that they're suffering from fatigue, exhaustion, because of the extra shift they got to work, because the staff ain't showing up, ain't nobody showing up. So you got to work 2 shifts sometimes till you get a break, till you get relief. You already worked last how many hours? Imagine the psychological effects of being in the prison, a hostile environment. All these gangs going on inside the prison. You know, the young people with the different things going on. Same thing in the street happening inside there. Don't kid yourself. And the staff is overwhelmed, burned out, frustrated, ain't getting paid, not motivated, no longer interested. What you really feel gonna happen? I ain't watching. Look, man, I get into the emotions. I done work the last how many hours? 15 hours straight. I tired. I really can't keep up. Meanwhile, certain ministers will go up to the prison and use the prison pantry as a supermarket, packing up their vehicle with the desired foods. Cheers. The last time I mentioned that individual's name was during the situation happened in the north. Remember the government industrial school? Well, you see they closed that down, right? Yeah, that individual, the man that's in charge of national security in Barbados, is aiding and abetting a national security breach at Barbados Prison Service. I'm telling you, Barbados, If 20 people escape from Dodds right now, I tell you, Barbados locked down here. It locked down. It locked down. Fully locked down. I telling you, man. You can then see what time it is, man. But Mr. Wilfred Abram needs to pay attention to this because it falls under his ministry. And if he's not meeting with the staff at the prison, if the superintendent not meeting with the staff at the prison, if it get to the point where it is becoming obvious to people who observing that something is wrong in the prison, how long before y'all remember Glenderry? Do you remember Glenderry? How Glenderry happened? Listen, man, if you look at this picture, this prison right here, escaping Dodds in an easy task. But what I will tell you, having been there myself and observing, it is not difficult either. All it takes is the right conditions. The downside of that is if there's not sufficient staff to run the facility and there are gangs running the facility, there's a possibility that your loved ones who may or may not be associated with these individuals could be exposed to potential danger or worse yet, harm, physical injury. So I think if you have family, if you know somebody working there or is incarcerated there, you need to start making some phone calls. You need to make phone calls with a matter of urgency, asking questions. Because if the place is short staffed and the staff is burnt out and fatigued and frustrated, this is the worst part, and not motivated and not interested, wait. Mr. Wilfred, you got a problem on your hands, bro. Consider this your warning. Now, I don't know if you watched the program or not, but you would notice that usually if I come on and I say something, it don't take long for it to happen afterwards, right? You got to pay attention to that. You're supposed to be a man of order. You used to recognize divine order. So when you're being told something, don't get vexed with the messenger. The question is, did you get the message? Now imagine, right? You got people that literally are a part of unions. Because the prison got unions, everybody got a union. Imagine you got a union and you go to your union rep, the rep that say they represent the people, and you explain how right now I ain't get paid in 3 years, they owe me money, I got my financial responsibilities, right now I'm financially embarrassed, I got the mortgage, the folks want to foreclose on my house, I'm about to lose the car, I got my children overseas at school, I can't afford to buy my groceries, my grandparents, so my parents ill in the hospital, medical responsibilities, and I don't have the extra capital that I work for to sustain these matters. And they're going to tell you, well, just stand down, wait and see. And the audacity of the minister, I don't even have the footage. I would like to get the footage. You seen that video? I got to find that video. He always saying some really crazy stuff. I was told that he said, for those individuals who are waiting for their monies for 4 years, since 2021 to be exact, waiting for 4 years to get paid. Imagine that they're now told, well, there's less weight going forward than you had to put in already. The lack of empathy, the blatant disrespect and disregard for people suffering. But yet they could find money to give everybody in Barbados over a certain age. I wrong by election, by the way. And by the way, a lot of folks ain't get that money up to now. I mean, a lot of folks ain't get the phone call, they ain't get the check in the mail, ain't nothing happening. Bro, you ain't get no money. That was to serve a purpose. It served a purpose. Now, move along smartly, man. I told y'all don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, but some of y'all fell for it. Well, my thing is, as a matter of national security, there's a crisis brewing at Barbados Prison Service right now. There's a crisis. And so I shout out the families who have loved ones there, start to get involved, start making calls. If you have family that work there, start making calls, because if it is that, like I said, there's that high volume of people out on sick leave right now. And many days, 10 to 15 people call in sick on those other days. and the rest of the staff definitely is overwhelmed and overworked. So something got to do, Mr. Superintendent. Mr. Payne, something got to do. Something got to do. And by the way, what should it not be an investigation as to why these so many people are escaping? I mean, should you not got to answer some questions? Should you not call your staff to have a meeting with your staff asking what going on? Like, what is this? You're making me look bad up here, man. You know, what's happening? What's happening? You know, it's funny, man. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I spoke to an individual that said to me, you know, and I almost heard, I felt he was going to cry at one point. I heard the pain in his voice, man. He's, you know, as someone who clearly would have given his life to service in this environment, to see it the way it is now is clearly disheartening. And like I said, his concern is for his colleagues and their safety. And you think it would stop there? He actually went a step further to mention the safety of the individuals who are housed. Family, Barbados Prison Service, if all this information is true, and I have no reason to doubt that it is, it tells you that this is a time bomb waiting to happen. Whether it be a riot inside, whether it spill out and guys escape and whatnot, because if some young ladies in the government industrial school can figure out how to get out multiple times, it's on, like I said, Dodds is built a certain way, but them high fences do not stop anybody. It's a fence. And anybody in the world know you can climb a fence. You know what I'm saying? No offense. But Dodds needs something happening and happening soon. There are several unions, like I said, one of which are ran by Mr. none other than Caswell Franklin, which is funny because I was told he was contacted as well with this matter. And up to date, he has done nothing. So if I'm in error, Mr. Franklin, my number on the screen, man, you're more than welcome to call in and correct it. Correct me, quite frankly. But I think that something needs to be done with that. And we're definitely going to shine some light on it tonight between the Attorney General and Mr. Wilfred Abram. Like I said, you got to stop shopping in the people pantry, though. How much you like what you like. People seeing you. You better hope they don't record you. So I can tell you right now, don't do that no more. Don't go back up there doing that. If indeed you were doing that, you know. Allegedly, let me use some terms, you know, legality. Allegedly, it was stated that you've been shopping in the pantry for the things you like to eat. You know, the thing you like, especially that thing too. If I was you, I would cease and desist with that before you get caught on camera. Pegasusing and save you then, yeah? Speaking of Pegasus, by the way, oh man, where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? I try to see if I should just springboard right into Dale Marshall one time because, quite frankly, in fact, hold on. Before I go there, let me go across here because I know that my people have thoughts of their own. Sean tell me I too tall. You is something else, man. You is something else. Yo, the tall ones, man, the ones that fell from above the earth came. Remember that? It's that tall gene. Yes, where we at, Lisa? Okay, here we are. Frank, Dominica. All right, picking up right here with Thelma. Exactly right. She don't know what's coming her way. I'm telling you, man. One Caribbean, one life. One Caribbean, one love. So Jel, Lloyd is shouting you out as well. So I shout you out because I think she's on. Yeah, there you go. Y'all see what's going on. I was saying maybe it's Facebook, but people can like my comments, but there is only a reply option for me. I don't know. I would have to check that one. In fact, I will go look into that myself and see. You're on politically incorrect page or my personal page. This message and let me know. Yep, being there, Harrison Point, man, crazy. I was born for the war. That's right, Frank. Frank, we know what time it is, Frank. We do know what time it is, man. All right. Okay. Greetings to you too. I don't know if it's Ross. All you, I don't know. Yeah, greetings to you too, man. Greetings. Greetings to one and all. One and all and all and one. I remember that frontline workers story, shaking my head. Those workers were told they had to take the toxic job. A lot of them have taken that same job, and you know how it turned out. You know, in some cases, you know, we're still finding out. Plus, more people being remanded. Yeah, it's a funny situation going on up there, Maureen. I congratulate them. Marcia Welch, greetings to you too. There's strength in numbers. I'm telling you, man. And right here, I'm politically incorrect. It's a whole family, and we ain't letting it go like that. All. We definitely gonna look into this because this is crazy. If shout to Beverly, man. Good night to you too, Beverly. I would hate to think that people ain't get paid in 3 years, and I see a whole bunch of new cars coming in for MPs. MPs got new vehicles, BMWs, electric vehicles, Mercedes, electric. Them cars is at least 300 grand a piece, man. 200 grand a piece, that kind of paper. You ain't got money to pay the staff? Nah. A lot of people on sick, a lot of people on sick leave for a number of reasons. Also, I've noticed school, government offices, the hospital, and the list goes on. Yep, so true. Call it state of emergency. So this is the thing. If 20 people get away from Dodds, they're going to call a state of emergency. Everything shut down. They're going to create, see, unlike COVID, it looks like they're looking to create a crisis, an internal crisis to justify what else they want to do. Serious. It is very dangerous to the people. Yes, it is, Thelma. Very, very dangerous. Don't be surprised if a civil war break out in Barbados. Wait, you telling me? Telling me, man, it's crazy. Shout out to the family in Toronto again. All my people up in Montreal as well. Toronto, T. You know it is. This is serious. No staff showed up after the first shift was done. And that was for the nighttime. Scary. I had to pelt away my food to listen closely. Listen here, man. That is crazy. And they had to use K9 units and emergency response team to kind of, you know, skeleton style. How you got a skeleton style run a whole full prison? I mean, that is what I understand. Having the challenges with gangs internally that spill over from the street. Most prison officers sick and nearly making it. I'm barely making it. I'm telling you, serious, man. No different from the SSA. People are tired. That's right. People are very tired. But that's what I'm trying to say. Is this a riot in the making? Remember 1937, the conditions that they were protesting is what sparked the riot. People say it was Clement Payne. Yes, he might have been somehow instrumental. He wasn't the only singular factor. And although they try to point to that, they don't want to talk about the fact that the people of the time, the administrators of the time, failed the people. Similarly to what is happening now. They are failing the people. For some reason, right, Miss Motley and crew, well, not Miss Motley and crew, a few, because I don't know if it's really the whole crew, seem to think that their ideas is the only viable idea and solution. For some reason, they think that they're the only bright ones in the room. That just got me beat bad. They actually think that whatever they think is the only thing that can be done. And the truth is, they are so far off track, it's as if they're following a script. But I'm going to play the script in a minute. I'm going to show you something tonight, man, family. World Economic Forum. I'm going to tell you why this is happening. Y'all watched the last program I did? Today is what? Monday? That would have been Friday. If you didn't see Friday program, you're missing out. This is almost like a part 2. We're to part 3, but hold on a second. I got something else to give you. Candy apple, maybe it's a lockdown they want in order to do other things with. Why no city same thing there, man? Why I'm telling you? Nothing or no entity is running correctly on this island. Nothing running properly. You see that, right? A lot of big talk. I think taxpayers are still paying the loan for that prison. Wait, it is 30 years, man. It's a 30-year loan. It's a 30-year loan. 30 million a year, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all do the math. Sean, do the math for them, Sean. Let me know. It's happening in all countries. It's a deliberate breakdown of society so they can bring in tyranny. Crime and fear is their weapon against the law-abiding citizens, man. I'm telling you, man. Folks on the ball, why don't put this prison on strike? Hold on, wait, hold on, Sean. Wait a minute, Sean. Hold on a minute, Sean. Why don't put the prison on strike? You shouldn't work for free. Now, hold on a minute. The reason why I would not agree with that, Sean, and I said this during the COVID time with the nurses. In fact, when Mr. Caswell Franklin was encouraging nurses to go walking and strike, I don't agree with that, because there are certain positions that are so critical, so important. First of all, they should never even be begging in the first place. Nevertheless, we're dealing with people and you know how that goes. But if the staff strike, if nurses were to strike, it means that the patients in the hospital will be the ones to suffer first. The government ain't gonna feel it. Families gonna feel it. Loved ones gonna die. People get wrong medication or have seizures or whatever happens. The families of the ordinary people is who gonna feel it first and die in fear. Prisoner officers strike, the prison going, well, I ain't gonna tell you. Prisoners gonna run riot up in there, man. Run wild. A lot of people gonna get hurt. A lot of people gonna get hurt. All kind of stuff gonna happen. And the families gonna feel it first. So that's why I don't agree with that. However, I would like to think that because of the importance of such a position, that again, Wilfred Abram, I told you all this man don't know what he's doing. I've been tell you all he don't have a clue. I point out that clearly by playing the videos that he made, speeches that he gave that clearly indicated he does not have a clue, let alone even an interest. Because when you see the people suffering and you're in a position to make a difference and you choose not to make a difference, it is a clear indication that you cares nothing about the people. Straight. So I know you're going to see this one though. I know they're going to see it, and we ain't going to talk about it. I know both of them going to see it. They may not watch the whole thing because they ain't got the stomach to stand under the judgment. You could do Pegasus all you like. You will not escape divine judgment, divine order. It's you need Pegasus to see, but the Almighty see your heart, man. You can't hide that. So you can switch some phones, new phones, whatever phones you wouldn't like. But it can't hide from the judgment. That's one thing what it can't hide from, man. Rastafari. Many may have taken so this is why workers are sick. Well, first of all, shout out to Alex Mitchell, by the way. Salute to the general. Straight up, straight up, straight up. Hold on a second. Greetings to you two, family. Tama laughing. Start, yo, Tama, this ain't, I crack a smile, but ain't nothing funny. They checking on the jail food to see how it was in there when they get there. Nah, he wasn't checking on that food. From what I understand, he was shopping. Shopping. Man, boy, woo-wee. That one there rough, boy. That one there rough. Wait, Pedro, you know come from Pedro. Wait, what time is it? You know come from Pedro. You was out, you was resting. Greetings to Pedro, man. Shout to Pedro. Spill the tea. We are waiting. She says spill the tea. Okay, we gonna spill the tea, man. We gonna get to this, and this is bush tea too. Right now, the whole of Barbados need a bush bath, man. Straight up, man. Yes, it's scary. Right now, the people who work in that institution, Barbados Prison Service, like I said, I think the Bible talks about correction officers. Prison officers are probably some of the worst jobs in the world. Worse, because what you got to go through and what you got to experience and what you see will affect you permanently. Permanently, man. It's something different, man. It's like working in coal mine. Certain jobs just leave an imprint on you. You can't escape it, man. Martial law will turn to martial law. Yep. Shout out to Interpol. You were funny, Alex. I like that though, Alex. But Interpol, I don't know, man. So you believe a Nephilim? Sean, we can have this conversation another time. Don't do that to me at this point, because I will tell you this much. You know, there's a reason why they function how they function. And somebody says, Spilly, I ain't gonna play the video. You ain't gotta worry, I ain't gonna drop them. In fact, what time is it now? Let me get to it, because time's slipping away. Because there's a lot of things I gotta share tonight. Things will get out of control even more. I'm telling you. So when you see the things going on in the street, all the different activities and whatnot, do not get confused. The government cannot talk the administrators. I got to stop calling them the government because they're not the government. These administrators are who controlling crime. They're the ones that control crime. You're telling me Ms. Motley's in charge of Barbados. The president, the Dane, whoever her name is, that Serb friend that she put in place is in charge of the president of Barbados. You ain't know what's going on in Barbados. You in charge of both security forces, the police and defense force, and you don't know what's going on. You said couple of, what is, hold on, I can play the video, man. Give me a second. I get ahead of myself. Hold on a second. Peace to you too, man. You should see the big Jeeps and the BFF have. Good night. Yeah, you see the Jeeps they have, but you see me, family? Man, I ain't gonna say it though. I ain't gonna say it. As big as them Jeeps are, right? They all have vulnerable points, man. All you gotta do is Google it. That simple. Ask ChatGPT what it is, and they'll tell you. So don't let them intimidate you. All that is for show. They acting. In fact, you know what I was going to do tonight? I was going to ask the question, is Barbados the new West Bank? I was going to ask that question, but I said, no, let me change that and ask if it's a right in the making instead, because the way these people moving, right, with the type of sophisticated military gear and whatnot, you would think that Barbados was the kind of society that warranted that kind of activity. You would think that Mossad, you would think that Barbados was such a terrorist country that we needed the government to deploy these surveillance techniques and tactics over the regular people in Barbados, who Barbados is known throughout the entire world as the most docile people on the face of the earth. Yeah, I drinking. The only people Barbadians is heard is each other. You ain't never, the most you would hear about it would probably, let me think. I can't think of none. A politician feelings getting hurt. That is the most you might hear coming out of Barbados because somebody said something on some social media or the newspaper. But yet they acting and talking as if Barbados is like El Salvador. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're acting as if Barbados is like Mexico with the cartels. Yo, that's how you know, right? That they cares nothing about you. Everything they do, you might benefit in some capacity, but realize it ain't about you. It ain't about you at all, man. Straight up, Lisa. I see you, Lisa. Shout out to Wendell, man. Greetings, family. Long time no see, man. Shout out to Ryan as well. She asking ex-soldiers to come in. Why you think that is? Because a lot of folks out, like the sister just said, on sick leave, man. A lot of people ain't showing up to work. I tell you, we witnessing the same oppression as in 1937, and you know, agree? Nah, I don't agree with you, Pedro. I do not agree with you. You got me wrong. In fact, to use your line, you are not interpreting my communication correctly. We are not experiencing 1937, Pedro. We've been past 37 years ago. And I said that in a video or two, about 2 or 3 years ago. In fact, about 2 years ago, I would have said that. We've been past 1937, Pedro. The conditions that Barbados experienced in 1937, if you were to itemize them in a chronological order and juxtapose them to what's going on now, Pedro, you would see we've been past riot, man. We overdue for a riot. In fact, the closest we would have gotten to a riot was 789. That was the anniversary was last week. I think it was Friday, 789. When we, the people of Barbados, decided we was going for a walk, it wasn't nobody else. The people of Barbados decided we was going for a walk. We don't need no permission. We don't need no documents from no, police, whatever, to meet somewhere and to walk from point A to point B. You do not need permission. The fact, by virtue of the fact that even asking permission suggests that you must be a slave, because in reality, how can the police of Barbados or any other person in Barbados tell you and your people that you can't walk from point A to point B? Tell me how. So we went for a walk that day, straight from point A to point B, and a few other places too. Because there's no law that gives anybody in Barbados authority over the next individual to tell you that you can't meet with your friend and your friend's friend and friend and take a walk. Thousands of people walk through Broad Street on a daily basis in the same direction going to work every morning. They don't need permission to do that. Thousands walk back going to the bus terminal. They don't need permission to do that. And don't nobody say nothing. But it's the unity is what they're fighting for, family. But we ain't asking the permission though. We anyhow. We not anyhow. So no, Pedro, wrong channel. They being told what to do. Shane said they're being told what to do. That ain't true, man. They ain't being told what to do. I think right now, quite frankly, they don't have a clue what they're doing. I think they just copycatting. I don't think they have a clue. Because I would like to think that if there was a cabal, if there really was a cabal, need I say more, that they'll be a bit more organized than this. These cats say don't have a clue. I think they're basically mimicking, trying to be a part of. You think, right, for any second, that the people that really in the position of, in fact, I can play the video. Hold on. Marcia, don't move yet. Hold on. Go tell a friend and tell a friend. Don't move yet. Tonight is the night, man. I'm telling y'all. Tonight is the night, man. Since they're going to sit, what they say, when they go low, we go high. Man, we going to resurrect the ancestors tonight, man. I'm telling you. What they're promoting, right, in Barbados is tribal war. What you're witnessing is tribal war. You're witnessing these dirty Moors that enslaved their own brothers and sisters and put the Caucasians to do the vicious work as the front, so you would not recognize as them in the background. That's why they took the pedigree. Don't get tight with these cats. They bloodline trace back to several plantations. And I ain't talking about the field, I talk about from the house. From inside the house. That's why some politicians would boast and tell slaves. My family wasn't the slaves. We wasn't the slaves. Boast and tell you that. But they know who they are. They know. Pushing for a lockdown will lead to the military arrest. Of course, it happening in Washington today with the National Guard. Although the National Guard is a violation of the Constitution, you ain't got no Constitution. That's why they can violate your rights. Straight up and down. But let me go ahead and play that video, man. Hold on a second, man. Because like I said, I got a few things to play. Let me just jump right into it, man. I didn't plan to be on here that long, but bear with me tonight, family. I'm telling you, bear with me. Where do I start? Should I do this one? Should I do that one? Should I do this one? All right, let me go here, man. Let me start with this one here, man. Let me go here, man. I think this is the best place to start. I think this is the best way to start. Because like I said, when you look at the prison situation, I recognize the prison is being allowed. Listen to the words I'm saying. The staff in the prison think that this is happening randomly, right? I know a little bit more than that. By virtue of the fact that it's to the extent where it's to the point where you got about, the numbers ain't adding up. That is mad. People ain't working. You on a skeleton staff. You got K9s patrolling the prison. Where's the staff? Missing. My thing is this, family. If they allow the prison to deteriorate and get to the point where it's hostile and something happen and a bunch of guys get away, what that allows is the police first. What that allows is the military now to kick in to track them down, right? Get the science. And all the guys who come out who got life ain't looking to get back no way. So you know what's gonna happen, right? Execution style. These soldiers are trained killers. They are not trained in the art of negotiating, stop, freeze. You're under arrest. They are to kill on sight. They're psychologically wired to kill in cold blood without remorse. Understand this, man. So what I'm saying to you is, Barbados, this is a case of national security. You cannot sit back on this. Whether you BLP, DLP, you cannot sit back. Mr. Thorne, I know if you're watching, they keep saying the opposition. Well, what I'm saying is that we cannot wait on Mr. Thorne We cannot wait on anybody else to address this matter because in reality, connect the dots. Prison ain't working, defense force being called back, given authority. We checking cell phones now. We intercepting the interception. So we be able to keep track of all communications with all parties. So we can, in fact, I'm going to tell you why they want to track your communication. Let me get to it now, man. Spirit then say, give it to you. So I'm going to give it to you. Let me give it to you. Let me go here, man. Let me go from one to the next. Hang on a second. Give me with the comments. I'm going to skip forward because I know there's going to be a lot of them. Give me a second. Let me pair this. Let me go to this one right here. Let me share this instead. Now, family, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to give you the link. But I want you to pay attention to this right here. Hang on a second. And bear with me. Boy, this ain't right here. This ain't right at all. Let me add this to the stage and get rid of this one. Here we go.
Tonight, we'll take you inside the growing, shadowy global market of cyber espionage. We look specifically at a controversial Israeli company called the NSO Group, valued at nearly $1 billion, that says it developed a hacking tool that can break into just about any smartphone on Earth. NSO licenses this software, called Pegasus, to intelligence and law enforcement agencies worldwide, so they can infiltrate the encrypted phones and apps of criminals and terrorists.
The encrypted phones of criminals and terrorists. I want y'all to know, right, that let me let this play first. I'm going to tell you. I promise I'm going to tell you. I'm going to definitely tell you. But let me let this play first. Hang on. Pay attention to this, family.
Problem is, this same tool can also be deployed by a government to crush dissent. And
it can be deployed to also do what? Crush dissent. Let me play that again, family. Let me tell you how this works, right? Now imagine Mr. Ralph Tornow, the leader of the opposition, on the list of individuals who they decide to spy on. And he's planning his campaign strategy, his route, places he planned to go, who he planned to meet with, who he planned to see. And an individual who is on this committee or whatever the hell they call it, whatever in hell they call it, listening and hearing this information, that's from the other opposing party. Question A, does he stay or she stay in the capacity of integrity and do their job efficiently? Or B, do they decide to contact who they are assigned to contact, transfer the information that could very well jeopardize Mr. Ralph Torn's campaign, his party, all the individuals in the party, or in some cases, even his life.
This same tool can also be deployed by a government to crush dissent. And so it is that Pegasus has been linked to human rights abuses, unethical surveillance, and even to the notoriously brutal murder of the Saudi Arabian critic Jamal Khashoggi. Headquartered in the Israeli city of Herzliya, NSO Group operates in strict secrecy.
And I said to them,
but co-founder and CEO Shalev Julio has been forced out of the shadows and not into a good light, accused of selling Pegasus to Saudi Arabia, despite its abysmal record on human rights. And the word is that you...
Now imagine, he's Israeli, and they're selling technology to the Muslims. Let me let it play. Hold on. I want y'all to let me let it play. Hold on.
Sold Pegasus to them and record on human rights. And the word is that you sold Pegasus to them, and then they turned it around to get Khashoggi.
Khashoggi murder is horrible, really horrible. And therefore, when I first heard there are accusations that our technology being used on Jamal Khashoggi or on his relatives, I started an immediate check about it. And I can tell you very clear, we had nothing to do with this horrible murder.
It's been reported that you yourself went to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. You yourself sold Pegasus to the Saudis for $55 million.
Don't believe newspapers.
Is that a denial? No.
Not a word.
Pegasus is so expensive because it lets authorities do what they long couldn't, break into smartphones remotely, making everything in them completely visible. All emails, contacts, and texts, new, old, encrypted, or not. Pegasus allows detectives and agents to track locations, listen into and record conversations, basically turning the phone against its user. In the company's
Basically, turn the phone against its user.
8-year history, they have never let cameras in, but they wanted to show us they're like any high-tech company, with PlayStations and Pilates. But there was a lot we couldn't show. Notice no faces. The work is top secret, and some employees are ex-military intelligence and Mossad. Pegasus is such a sensitive spy tool, NSO has to get approval before it can be licensed to any client, let alone Saudi Arabia, from the Israeli Defense Ministry, as though it's an arms deal. Why?
As though it's an arms deal. Now, why am I bringing this up? Think about it. If it is right that Barbados is about to embark on this new frontier of spyware, that's basically what it is. It's spyware. Understand that this goes for everyone in Barbados. They have the ability to track your key logs, everything you do on your phone. So, or your system at home if they decide to go that far, because some folks link their phone to their system, their computer, whatever. So think, for example, your bank information. This is why I tell you BLP, DLP, it don't matter. Like, y'all have to be sleeping or zombies not to recognize what's about to happen. So imagine this. First of all, it's a violation of privacy. It's a violation of privacy in ways we can't begin to imagine. But let me go ahead here. Let me drop this information. Hold on a second. Let me drop this information right here. Let me go ahead. This was, I wanted to read what he said, but I don't even know if I'm going to give him that much attention tonight, Mr. Dale Marshall. What I want to do is this. What Pegasus spyware can access is your text messages, of course, your emails, your call history and recordings, the contact details in your phone. You know what I'm saying? Remotely access your mic and your camera, its social apps, all of them, the data, text, media, logos, whatever, doesn't matter. It can also install other applications to do other works. It can also browse your history, even the things you deleted. Trust me, they're still on your phone. Capture your screenshots and screen recordings. Track live location. That's the one thing I want to tell you about. That's how that journalist got killed over there a few years back. They tracked his location. Access your phone storage, download phone files, record keystrokes, and they can even modify files. So let's say you went to your bank account, you want to transfer some money to some relative overseas or pay a bill, or your wife or one of your wives, or your outside woman or your outside man, or whatever the case is, and all this activity you got going on, or Biden Rose or whatever. The fact remains that they have access to all that information. You'll have absolutely no privacy left. None. That's why I say to you that, as far as I'm concerned, they could talk all they like. What they're not telling you, my question was, did Dale Marshall lie to the people of Barbados when he talked about this? Because first thing first, they went ahead and put a bill in place, family. And I want y'all to realize this. And I'm going to give you the information. Tell you tonight, I want to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to draft up a letter. I'll probably make it available for whoever wants it and hopefully get circulated, that you are to keep. And if you suspect that your phone is acting according to any of the things I'm going to put there that are similar to give you an idea that maybe this, I'm going to give you a form to fill out. You fill out yourself and take it to the station. They want work. We're going to make them work and make them do an investigation into your situation, because they got to give you a report back on it too. And if they give you a report back on it too, and that there's no investigation and nothing of this such is being accumulated, whatever the case is, well, you know what, then forensics, in fact, I'm going to tell that one a little later, because in order to prove this, you're going to be able to prove that they're actually on your phone. And once you can prove they're on your phone, we're talking lawsuits here, class actions, man. Don't mind them. Let them go ahead and play their game, because in reality, it's a violation of the Constitution. They keep saying that we don't have the Constitution, yet the BLP say we do have one. Well, according to the Constitution of Barbados, Section 13, it's a violation of your rights to privacy of home and correspondence. Go read it up. Go on the website for Parliament. I was going to pull it up, but I didn't see any tab. I probably closed it. I hope I didn't close it. I can always find it. Go on Parliament website, look for Constitution, look up Section 13, family. Of all the numbers, it had to be the great 13. Look up rights to privacy of home and correspondence. You have a right to privacy and a right to correspondence, according to the Constitution. The other part is go to the Computer Misuse Act, Section 210. Hold on, let me get it right, boy. 210A to be exact. The unauthorized access to a computer system. Your phone is a computer system. Don't be fooled, man. It's a computer system. Don't let them fool you. Your phone is a computer system. Don't let them fool you. So for the time that's 2 violations. On top of that, there's another one. They only passed it the other day around the same time as remember the thing they had? They said they were trying to stop the disinformation and that information and all kind of information. They call it the Data Protection Act. And I'm going to drink to that. God bless that act. Unlawfully, because they said that people were trying to, I guess what they call it, troll people or whatever. But unlawful possession and collection of personal data. It is against the law in Barbados to unlawfully possess and collect data belonging to somebody else. And if that wasn't sufficient, family, I need to post this stuff. I go and post this stuff somewhere. Hold on a minute, man. Let me see if I can post this stuff. Give me a second, man. Give me a second, because it being playing that game. Hang on. Let me try something here real quick. Let me see if I could. I type it in fast, so when they go to work with me here, I tell them when to write. No, I that kind of guy that's type my time. Hey. Let me see if I could. Wait, hold on a minute. I type. I coming. Hang on. All right, hang on. Use and correspondence. DENCE. All right. That's the first one there. Go ahead and look that up. Go look. Wait, hold on. I can't even find it. There's too many comments, so it must be way down somewhere. I don't even know where it is. Let me see if I could figure something out here. Give me a second. All right, let me pause it right there. Let me go down here. There's mad comments, so that's what happened. Okay, so go look that one up, family. Go look that one up. Take a screenshot of that. Write that down. Take a screenshot. Now we ain't playing with them. We not playing with them. Let them go ahead and do whatever crap they're doing. Understand? These individuals are only administrators. You are the government. They keep telling you that. They keep saying we're a republic now. If we're a republic, the people got the power. And the people have the power. Don't let them fool you about parliamentary republic. You have the power that God gave you. Inalienable rights. Don't let a boy trick you. Hang on a second. Let me write this down. What did it say here? Computer Misuse Act. Okay, hang on. Okay. Okay. I'm coming. Connection of personnel. Personal computer system. Okay, hang on. Put that one up there as well. Hang on. I'm coming. So we got that one for those on YouTube and those on Facebook. Then we got the other one, the Computer Misuse Act. Go ahead and screenshot that. Look that up too, by the way. Make sure you go look that up. And I got another one for you. Got 2 more. Okay. All right. Can't let them. Don't get. See, the whole thing is to keep you fearful, keep you in fear, keep you in fear. Because once they say the people are gonna be scared, then they can do anything. So they got everybody scared and panicky. Everybody's scared and panicky. Everybody all frightened and focus on the tent. The tent. That tent making no sense at all. The tent. That tent making sense. And while everybody was watching the windows, they was breaking and entering, invading your house. They was invading your privacy. But guess what? Let them go ahead and play with it, man. Overwhelm them with court cases, man. Keep them busy. Keep them completely busy. The thing is, they've been doing this. Don't forget, they had accused Inspector Doughton of doing this way back. The problem is they couldn't use the information in court. Of course, they would have exposed themselves. So now they wanted permission to use it in court. But this ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. Telecommunications Act, Cap 282B, interception of private communication without judicial authority. So understand this. The way they outline this thing is, they have to have this judge and this body do this and this body do that and all this kind of stuff. But let me go back here real quick because I know I missed some comments. I didn't want to miss the comments. But Alex said the train is off the track. Warrants are signed. Stand by to stand by to stand by. Alex, you great as ever. But you're right. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Stand by to stand by to stand by. Now I post the clip to that video. I post the link, to that video as well. And in terms of 60 minutes there, that's in the comments. Go watch the rest of it. It's critical. It definitely is critical. You got to go check it out for sure. This is game. This is end game. All things are connected. All the cabal puppets must go. They must go. Greetings to you too, Sharon. Shalom, shalom to you too. And I understand. It's crazy, man. Can't hide from Jah. It would be dread. It will definitely be dread. Wilfred Abram has no idea what's coming his way. Dale Marshall has no idea. As much as they were, or whoever they were before, there's a reason why they're under this kind of scrutiny now. And I hope they understand it from a spiritual point of view. Both of them are supposed to be wise men. I sincerely hope y'all see what time it is. US, Canada, UK, all these countries have recently changed their immigration laws. Is there a link to the legislation passed here? Will our surveillance be shared with them? Well, that's where it's ultimately going. This company out of Israel, and by the way, don't assume that they're only using Pegasus. They might not be. There's other stuff they have out there as well. Other companies, one particular company that I think I mentioned it. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. It's called Cellbrite. I think it's called Cellular Bright. Some of that. I'll get the name for you before the night is out, though. But that's another one they also have that have technology that can actually literally tap into the phones as well. It's being used a lot by Americans as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have that technology too. So, but that one might require a physical device in their hands and not necessarily remotely. So the remote aspect is a different conversation, but we're going to get into it. Let me play this other video real quick. Let me go ahead and drop this one. I wanted to go into that. Speaking of Pegasus, right? Let me go into this one here real quick. Share this one here real quick. Somebody come look at this. Hang on.
Israeli spyware company NSO.
Hold on. Let me get this one here, man. Hang on. Pull it from the top.
Group has said that it sees.
Put this to the screen. Hold on. By the way, contact God. Correct. God will judge them. Let me add this to the screen. Hold on a second here. Let me add this to the screen. I'm trying to see how to slide it in. Oh, here we are. There you go. Give a listen, family. Give a listen.
Israeli spyware company NSO Group has said that its CEO, Shalev Julio, is stepping down and the company will lay off a seventh of its employees. This is the latest round of upheaval after the NSO Group's flagship Pegasus spy or cyber weapon has come under increasing scrutiny. Now, according to reports, around 100 of its 700 employees will be let go as part of the firm's reorganization. Julio, who is also the company's co-founder, will be replaced by the current chief operating officer, Yaron Shohat, until the board appoints a new CEO. Julio will remain at the company and take charge of mergers and acquisitions. As part of his new role, Julio will also be responsible for helping the company find a new CEO. The NSO Group has been facing legal action after allegations that its tools, like the Pegasus spyware, are misused by governments and other agencies to hack mobile phones. The U.S. government...
You hear that, right? They have legal issues because governments have been using it to hack. And we'll play that again, family. Hold on. I'm going to give it to you. Check it out.
The NSO Group has been facing legal action after allegations that its tools, like the Pegasus spyware, are misused by governments and other agencies to hack mobile phones. The U.S. government placed the company on a trade blacklist. NSO is also facing legal action from big tech companies like Apple and Meta. In its lawsuit, Apple said that NSO violated U.S. laws by breaking into the software installed on iPhones. However, NSO has said its technology is intended to help catch terrorists, pedophiles, and hardened criminals, and is sold to legitimate government clients. Although it keeps its client list confidential, Julio is the second CEO at NSO to step down in less than a year.
Folks stepping down, CEOs stepping down, rats jumping ship. As you see the rats jumping ship, you know what's up. They claim that governments have been using it for nefarious reasons. Well, it's spyware. They created it for nefarious reasons.
WeOn is now available.
It don't make no sense, right? But hold on. That was one. Let me give you the update to that. That was a few years ago, right? Okay, well, check this out now. Let me give you the update to that. This is from a few months. Hold on, this is from a few months ago. Well, you ought to check this out. That was from a few years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago. They were going through that little scrutiny, whatever they were dealing with. And here we are now in 2025. And guess what has happened? Listen carefully, family. Don't miss this here. Listen carefully. And again, Pegasus is not the only one. It's one of the most sophisticated ones, but not the only one. So far as what Barbados is using, they never really identify what it is. But this is how we're going to find out now, because, of course, somebody going to go and get their phone checked by a forensic lab. And when they do find out, oh, man. And this, we're going to get into it. Plus, it gives some tips. I saw that Patrick King video, by the way. He talked about the foil paper and stuff. We did mention that before. If you want privacy, put the phone in foil. That goes for any and everything. The only downside to that would be, again, the communication with you and your family. And again, if you got to go to the extreme measures where people got to wrap phones in foil and put them in buckets and meet in remote places to have a conversation, like, what kind of state are we living in? What's next? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, showers, because that began to sound like we about to go into a concentration camp. Because like I said, family, things are changing. Listen to this video here, man. Let me check the volume first of all. Here we go.
Meta has won a 6-year-long legal battle against Pegasus, which is the Israel-made spyware. Meta had sued Pegasus' parent company, NSO Group, for targeting individuals across 20 countries using WhatsApp video calls. A U.S. court has ordered NSO Group to pay $167 million to Meta.
$167 million paid to Meta. Meta basically finally won the lawsuit that the guy was just talking about from years ago. He said it was a 6-year battle. She said a 5-year battle. They finally won it though. That's like 2 months ago. That's only recently. So I wouldn't be surprised why they started. It's funny because if this company was just sued by Meta for violating its rights, they infringed on the privacy of people and were sued $160-something million. They got to pay US, by the way. They got to pay Meta. Family, we ain't playing it neither. You understand? Let Barbados government, let these administrators, these colonial people feel that they clever. And watch what happen, man. Hold on, listen to this.
A U.S. court has ordered NSO Group to pay $167 million to Meta in punitive damages for hacking 1,400 WhatsApp users with its Pegasus spyware in 2019. Well, WhatsApp has welcomed the verdict, calling it a critical deterrent to the malicious industry against their illegal acts aimed at American companies. However, the NSO Group maintained in the court that WhatsApp did not suffer any actual damage at the hands of Pegasus. Criticizing the verdict, the spyware maker said it would carefully examine the details of the ruling to pursue appropriate legal remedies.
Okay, so again, hacking 1,400 users across WhatsApp. So some folks were telling me earlier that, WhatsApp is encrypted. So because it's encrypted, that, they won't be able to get access to it. Nah, that ain't true. Nobody fool you. Pegasus is dangerous. It's very dangerous. Your bank records aren't safe. Your personal details aren't safe. Pictures of your children, none of that stuff is safe. And they could collect all that information and then do what with it? Now, we're living in the age of AI, robotics, and cloning. Understand now, it is easy to shut somebody down because they have all your data. They can literally take your data. In fact, hold on, man. Now, like I said, family, connect the dots. We're going from one to the next to the next. Did Dale Marshall lie to Barbadians? Did he lie? Let me show you what I mean by now, because what they're doing is collecting all your data. And let's be honest, most people have their life stored on their phone, from pictures to personal messages, loved ones, relatives, family, personal information, secrets that they hold so dear to. And now these guys are saying, well, because we want to fight crime and terrorists. Bear in mind, they create the criminals, they create the criminals. But they're telling you they want to bring this in to fight crimes that they themselves create. This is just crazy, family. Crazy. We ain't never had no criminals so the government got involved. But no crime before they got involved. Them is the ones promoting the crimes. You don't get tied up with this thing. They know what's going on good enough. The youths ain't starting nothing. They just following what they're being told to do. And guess what? So they collect all this data on you. Personal information on you. To do what with it? Let me show you. Let me show you what they're going to do with it, man. Let me show what they're going to do with it. Now, let me see this. I'll play this section right here. I think this is the only one that matters. This section right here. Let me do this part right here. Let me just do this part right here. I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna play the whole thing. Again, the interest of time. But I'll play enough of it that you could understand, okay? What time is it anyway, man? Somebody tell me what time is it. Give me a time check, somebody. Oh, hour and a half. Man, I might just play. I ain't gonna play the whole. Hold up. Let me check the comments first of all. Wait. Because I know there's a lot of them, man. Hang on. Here's the thing, family. The hunted today can become the hunted of tomorrow. History has proven that. Maureen, Maureen. I'm gonna drink to that, Maureen. I'm gonna drink to that. They don't realize it. That's what they're worried about, man. Greetings to you too, family. It's attrition. I'm telling you, man. I ain't no politician that's got feelings. Nah, they're the most emotional. Trust me, don't let them fool you. She is following orders. She is not running things. Well, we definitely agree on that with Marcia. We know she ain't running things. We know that for sure. For sure. But I'm going to show you a video right now. I'm going to tell you why they don't want criminals. They don't want to track criminals. They don't want to track no terrorists. Barbados ain't got no terrorists. All that equipment, they move like they're military. Is to intimidate the people in Barbados to give up their identity. But let me show you why. Let me show you why. See, we ain't playing politics. This is why Ralph Torn, he who should not be mentioned, that I just mentioned, cannot save Barbados. No matter how much he tell you that, either he delusional or he might mean well, because the road to hell is paved with such good intentions. I don't doubt he has good intentions. In fact, like I said from the very beginning, I do not question Ralph Torn. People misunderstand me, but I have some questions for Mr. Ralph Torn. And the fact that the things I don't see him addressing or speaking on makes me wonder. Maybe he's unaware, and it's a possibility. I don't doubt that if he was aware, probably he might function different. But I'm going to play the video that he might not play. I'm going to mention what he might not mention. Let's see what happens after that, right? Let's check this out. Hang on a second. Watch this video right here. Play that video. Y'all recognize who this guy is? Anybody know who this guy is? Yuval Noah Harari. Take a listen to this.
Processing data and making decisions.
Hold on.
We are used to thinking about democracy and dictatorship in ethical or political terms. But actually, these are two different methods to process information. Democracy processes information in a distributed way. It distributes the information and the power to make decisions between many institutions and individuals. Dictatorship, on the other hand, concentrates all the information and power in one place. Now, given the technological conditions of the 20th century, distributed data processing worked better than centralized data processing, which is one of the main reasons why democracy outperformed dictatorship and why, for example, the US economy outperformed the Soviet economy. But this is true only under the unique technological conditions of the 20th century. In the 21st century, new technological revolutions, especially AI and machine learning, might swing the pendulum in the opposite direction. They might make centralized data processing far more efficient than distributed data processing. And if democracy cannot adapt to these new conditions, then humans will come to live under the rule of digital dictatorships. And already at present, we are seeing the formation of more and more sophisticated surveillance regimes throughout the world, not just by authoritarian regimes, but also by democratic governments. The US, for example, is building a global surveillance system, while my home country of Israel is trying to build a total surveillance regime in the West.
A total surveillance regime. Wait, y'all listening to this thing, or y'all just watching this thing, me making a joke thing of this thing here? Y'all feel like come out here at night and do this because I just ain't got, I be home bored. I go and clean my aquarium, watch my fish for hours and just meditate on another level. Y'all hear what this man talking about, man? Do not let these people fool you into the nonsense. Dale Marshall is straight, bald-faced lying. Either that or he's ignorant. And I know he ain't an ignorant man because he wise enough to know not to sign that document that I saw the other day from George Payne's office. Yeah, he calling names because I see that he ain't sign it. He wise enough not to sign it. So I know he ain't a fool. But the question, did he lie to the people of Barbados? What is the true objective behind this whole experience? You know what the man now say? Hold on a minute, man. Let me go back a bit. Let me let him finish it. Hold on.
The US, for example, is building a global surveillance system, while my home country of Israel is trying to build a total surveillance regime in the West Bank. But control of data might enable human elites to do something even more radical than just build digital dictatorships. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. Because once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it. And if indeed we succeed in hacking and engineering life, this will be not just the greatest revolution in the history of humanity. This will be the greatest revolution in biology since the very beginning of life 4 billion years ago. For 4 billion years, nothing fundamental changed in the basic rules of the game of life. All of life, for 4 billion years, dinosaurs, amoebas, tomatoes, humans, all of life was subject to the laws of natural selection and to the laws of organic biochemistry. But this is now about to change. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds. The IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud, these are the new driving forces of evolution.
These clouds that you keep saving and storing your pictures and videos and all this stuff in, them clouds, yeah. Them clouds he talking about. All your information, all your data.
The IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud, these are the new driving forces of evolution. And at the same time, science may enable life after being confined for 4 billion years to the limited realm of organic compounds. Science may enable life to break out into the inorganic realm. So after 4 billion years of organic life shaped by natural selection, we are entering the era of inorganic life shaped by intelligent design. This is why the ownership of data is so important.
The ownership of data is so important.
If we don't regulate it, a tiny elite may come to control not just the future of human societies, but the shape of life forms in the future. So how to regulate the data, the ownership?
How to regulate the data and the ownership. I'll put the link right here in the comments. Y'all are free to go and watch him continue explaining to the World Economic Forum what their plans are for Agenda 2030. Y'all think this is a game, man. Y'all think this is a game, man. A lot of y'all focusing on the wrong thing. Y'all playing politics with these politicians, and these politicians themselves ignorant to what master planning for them too. They don't even have a clue. Straight, they don't have a clue. They're just operating on the operating standard rules. They're just following the script. Somebody said earlier, they're just following the script, man. I just saw Real ISIS with us though, but Real ISIS, what part you been? I didn't see you like in a minute though. Greetings, man. And New L, we still here, politically incorrect family. What go on, people? Yeah. Barbados being used as testing ground. Barbados was always the testing ground. Slave code in 2025. Once you know what time it is, ISIS, good to see you, sis. Been a minute, man. Been a minute. And a lot of the BDF and police members dropping out like flies. That's why check the obituaries. You ain't gonna tell me. Why you paying attention, family? I know what's going on. I ain't no come town. The question is, are the people paying attention? Are you paying attention? Or are you being distracted by the beads and bikinis? No longer feathers, but beads and bikinis. It used to be indigenous reminders, culture reminder. Now it's beads and bikinis. Leading you astray, man. And the BF refusing to let go of the young officer, telling them foolishness. This over a whole year, saying they need them for upcoming work. Letters were written, all kinds of things. So we think now they know what's coming. Yeah, we know they know what's coming. Them loans ain't free. Shucks, man. You kidding me? You speaking of permission for what? You creating a dumpy to pick at? I am not sure that's a question for me or somebody else. You said you speaking of permission for what? Oh, when I said permission, well, if this is what I'm referring to, I think when I say, but we don't need permission, I was referring to permission to walk. Some call it a protest. I ain't never protest nothing. We made it clear. We walk and we made our position known. We wasn't protesting. We was in opposition. We opposing. There's no paperwork to having an opposition movement. You just create it. Shout out to you, Mr. Williams. Leonardo, we didn't say keep up the good works. Man, that goes for all of us, my brother. Be in this together, man. Be in this together, man. Lioness got the fire blaze and the fire ain't blaze yet. Hold on, Lioness. Hold on, Lioness. That ain't the fire at all. Let me go and put on the fire now, man. Hold on. Let me get it. Hang on. Let me get the fire, man. This is the fire right here. Let me get the fire now, man. Let me now reach for the lava, man. More fire, man. me not reach for the lava. Now, of course, this is our personal prime servant, affectionately known throughout the world as Mia Amor Motley. To us here at home, she's the prime, but to us on Politically Incorrect, she's the prime servant. Let's be clear about that. And that's an honorary title. Any person who wishes to lead, in the words of the great Haile Selassie I, must first learn to follow and to serve. So she's the prime servant. So let's hear what she had to say right here regarding this particular bill.
This legislation goes further than most of the others in the region in that it now allows us to treat to the substance of the intercept, not just as intel to help you investigate the case and to solve the case, but to treat it, Mr. Speaker, as evidence.
Now, this is my thing, Miss Motley, as a lawyer, you know. Let me just, give me a second, man. To treat the intel as evidence. This allows them to treat it as evidence. See what I told you? They've been wiretapping people. They've been listening in. They've been had the videos. They've been watching the late night shows that apparently some of us put on. I'm gonna leave it at that. But anyhow, the reality is that's all right. They can use it before. Now they want to use it or sell it or do whatever with it. Imagine even the children got cell phones, right? Children, minors, and individuals have the capacity to turn on phones, cameras, microphones, you know, intercept video calls. And we know, I mean, adults get into things too, but children too. You see how dangerous this thing is, family? How deadly this thing is, man? This get people in all kinds of trouble. So imagine the government got a file on you and you going out to petition for a job or to do something and they call you in. Listen here, they want to stop dissent, right? Anybody from opposing them, listen, we got that video you made last week, you know. We can put that up on social media, yeah. You better try and back down. You gonna do what? You gonna march against COVID 2030? You better go and sit down, yeah. You know, sit down, Winston. They would say, no, we got a file on you, boy, Winston. You better. We got that video, yeah. Yeah, we got that video. Listen, family, this thing serious. It's more serious than serious. That's why I'm saying this is not a BLP thing. It's not a DLP thing. This is a matter of national security. The prison officers, the prisoners' life are in danger. The prison officers' lives are in danger. And by extension, the nation is in danger. Because if they allow all these little gears to keep turning and things spiral out of condition, this is organized chaos in the making. If you can't see it, I don't know what to tell you. But I see it clearly. Hold on, let me let her finish.
If we have the intel, we will be in a position, if allowed to admit it into evidence, the cross-examiner, who the person defending the defendant will cross-examine on it.
Miss Motley, really, look, you know, I can't even say I admire your theatrics because your acting skills suck, point blank. You can't honestly tell me that you said this with a straight face. You trying to tell me that they're going to collect intel on somebody and then, you know, the person who, you know, intel is collected on is on trial, according to what you're saying. Their lawyer get to, you know, interrogate it. At what point? During trial? Or during discovery? Or how is this going to work? Y'all going to collect all this information on somebody, then present it to a judge, or just go and collect a warrant, get the person. Like how, like what's the plan? And, you know, they come to trial. You think if a person know that you download everything off their phone and you got all their details, you think they still going to trial? Miss Motley, who you trying to fool, Miss Motley? You telling me that this information is so critical to the investigation to capture these criminals and terrorists that run on Barbados, that after you capture them and they get arrested, of course, they don't know how they got arrested, but according to you, they incriminate themselves via the telephone. And of course, I'm sure at some point when they get arrested, you have to let them know that. You think they go into trial knowing you got them recorded, knowing that you turned on the video when they was in the commission of the crime, you was recording their video the whole time, or they was taught. I'm trying to figure out, let me skip that.
The prosecution will address it, and the judge and the jury will speak to it. And in the case of
a judge and jury, you really think so, man? I mean, it sounds good. So when Barbadians hear you speak like this,
decide. In the case of a judge alone trial, the judge will decide. And these are the things that we want to keep this country safe.
Safe from who, Miss Montley? Because up to now, y'all have not addressed the issue of who bringing in the guns. You're bringing lie detector tests, you're doing all this. Who bringing them in? How they get about here? How they get about here, man? Greetings and salutations to you too, Ron. How they get about here, man? We ain't discussed that yet. We didn't even touch on that yet. How they get about here, man? We ain't discussed that. But let me go a step further tonight, Fire. Lioness, part you go on, Lioness. Let me go a little further, man. I got more for you. I got more for you. This is the part that I found a bit disturbing, though. And I'm only playing this because, but I'm just going to play it because. But I found it a bit disturbing. Let me tell you why this was disturbing to me. They create the chaos deliberately, then say they need wiretapping laws to fight crime, but we know differently. Facts. You cannot, Delmar, look, man. Go and pay the prison officers because you got a riot brewing on your hands, and that's going to spill into the streets. I'm telling you. You think people now starting to escape? In the last 2 years alone, look how many people escaped from prison. Well, you never seen that so in your life in Barbados before that. And nobody ain't questioning the superintendent paying as to how this keep happening, why this keep happening under your watch. I mean, up to now, he still got a job. He's supposed to be on investigation. Like, wait, big man, you. Let me play this video here, Jel. Deliberately, listen to what is said right here now, man. Mr. Ralph Thorne, I don't know if you're listening. You probably heard it already, though. But let me play this for the people of Barbados, the true opposition of Barbados.
There can be no doubt in anyone's mind about the resolute nature of this government in addressing both limbs, the law enforcement and the crime prevention aspect of what we are doing.
The law enforcement and crime prevention, Miss Montley, man. Look, man, I got accused on here regular of being somehow affiliated with you for some reason. I ain't understand that one at all. Seen you once in my life, well, maybe twice. Maybe 3 times. Both prior times was involved in a dance hall. Not that it was dancing, but it was in the hall. Nevertheless, law enforcement, crime prevention. If you're claiming, in fact, let me let you say that again. Let me let those words sink into those who are watching, because what I'm about to say might be disturbing. Let me say it.
It's mine about the resolute nature of this government. There can be no doubt.
There can be no doubt
in anyone's mind.
In anyone's mind.
About the resolute nature of this government.
About the resolute nature of this government. If you ain't never heard it before, family, you're hearing it now.
In addressing both limbs, the law enforcement and the crime prevention aspect of what we are doing.
law enforcement and crime prevention aspect of what we are doing. I want you to understand that clearly, family, and what that really means. What she said and what she's about to say. What you understand what it means, family. And we already know how to deal with the crime issue in Barbados, because crime is tied to poverty, directly married to poverty. If you're talking about crime and crime prevention and you have not mentioned poverty alleviation in the same breath, you are not serious about the matter. However, if you mention crime prevention in the same sentence and not mention poverty, however, mention law enforcement, what you're saying to the people, Miss Montley, by virtue of your doublespeak, is that Barbados and Barbadians are in trouble because you have no intentions on helping the people that really need help. Because although it seems that way, truth is, you are in a position to do more for Barbadians. You, yes, Miss Montley, you can do a lot more for the people, but you're choosing not to. If you do not have the capacity to make those decisions, then let somebody else who can do it. But so long as you sit in that position and you do not make changes where changes are necessary to alleviate the struggles and the suffering of those Barbadians who are currently struggling and suffering, and you do nothing, you are the oppressor. And as all oppressors get, you shall too receive. Bottom line. You know, two ways about it. And not because I say so, but because the time requires such. Imagine people work during COVID, extra hours, extra 48 hours when the month come in total, extra hours under those harsh conditions. COVID was a test for everybody's mental capacity. Those who could and couldn't brave themselves to deal with the fear and the thought of dying and their loved ones and whatnot y'all promoted. And yet you telling me you can't pay them people their money? No, the staff, they say that they ain't even going to work. They call in sick, who ain't sick, faking sick, who ain't faking sick, actually really sick, and ain't got no finances to deal with their illnesses. Are you telling me that you know this and you ain't doing nothing? Well, Fred Abram know it. Hartley Henry's supposed to know it. Caswell Franklin know it, and none of y'all ain't helping the people. What am I making sport, man? Miss Martin, you better deal with that here. You got a crisis on your hands. And although y'all think that y'all safe, right? What y'all have to realize is that the enemy who is pushing you to do these things has a plan for you too here. Has a plan for you. Don't forget that. You don't get me. But anyhow, let me let this video play.
And Mr. Speaker, you will forgive me if on this Friday evening, I take my time, because this is at the core of this country's future stability.
The core of this country's future stability. Ms. Montley, again, what's at the core of this country's future stability? It's the youths. The youths. The youths. Keep that in mind.
And prosperity. And that is why I so regret that the honorable member did not find the courage, the honorable leader of the opposition, to stand up and be in a position to find common purpose with the people and government of this nation with respect to this fight. I know that they have, and let me be very clear, they have been offered on many an occasion. And today, he chose to do that which even he should be ashamed of, given his recent comments in a press conference on the 16th of June of this year.
16th of June of this year, press conference. Leader of the opposition, Mr. He who should not be mentioned that is mentioned, Ralph Torn. And you see why I tell y'all, family, honor among thieves. No, this is a politically incorrect move she's about to make here. And that's why I tell you, man, I ain't got no issue with nobody, you know. Like, I have none. When you're right, you're right. See, when you're wrong, you can get called up, though. Not call out, but call up. Because we can't say that we are brothers and sisters keeper and we ain't keeping our brother and sister in check, according to Ezekiel 3. Not to sound religious. But Miss Motley is about to address Mr. Thorne in a manner in which, or a way that I would have done it, which I think is very sophisticated, quite frankly. But here's the problem with this. If he did say that, and I didn't go and look to that interview, I didn't go look for it because I did not want to see if that was true. I say, you know what? Let me not say nothing else because I quick to get hit for her and I get hit for him. I can't call nobody name, but in fact, I can't say nothing on here, man. I hope somebody got something to say. So I'm gonna let you do the homework to see if he really did what she's about to say he did. I mean, let me let it play though. Let me let it play because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But y'all go check it out and let me know. Hang on. She even said he lacked the courage to come and speak on it right there, based on what he said in the interview. But let me let this go.
But the problem is that this is crop over week. And I may well now have to ask myself whether he ever jumped a day in his life, or is today his first day in political gyrations, moving from side to side to side to side. Others say he might get jumped. But let me remind you in this chamber of his words. On the 16th of June, 2025, we therefore, as a party, would want to support, this is in relation to the wireless interception legislation.
This is in relation to the wireless interception legislation, is what she said. Make it clear.
Would want to support, this is in relation.
Hold on, let me go back. Listen carefully. And I'm telling you, please, somebody, go do the research on this. I'm not going to do it because I, like again, I don't question Mr. Thorne. He's a man. I don't get into that kind of behavior. However, as an individual who claimed to be in the interest of the people of Barbados, I have some questions I would have always liked to ask him. Just some thoughts, some questions. Nothing, I ain't trying to. So it ain't that kind of party. I ain't for nor against. I ain't fighting nobody. But I have a question here, though. If what she's saying is true, man. Boy, look, I don't know, boy, look. Let me play this thing. Hold on.
On the 16th of June, 2025, we therefore, as a party, would want to support, this is in relation to the wireless interception legislation. We therefore, as a party, would want to support such a measure by the police because this is about death now. This is not benediction. This is not merely about people losing their property. This is about people losing their lives, and this society must be protected against crime. Now, he did talk about political concerns, but he was very clear in his support for the need for it. And in fact, he said that if the police are on to something, and quite often the police are on to things, I say, let the police continue their work. Now, this is the same man who spoke, this is the same honorable member who spoke to me and agreed that he would go on the Advisory Council for Citizen Security. And then 2 days later, when the cabinet secretary was calling him, he told the cabinet secretary that he would be late to the meeting. So how can you deny something when you told the cabinet secretary you would be late to the meeting because you had to think? When he first spoke to me, he told me he was going to consult with his people. Told the cabinet secretary he would be late for the meeting. But then this was the same honorable member who told me behind the chair of the speaker that he would also meet with me and the Minister of Education and the Chief Education Officer and the member for St. James South and St. Philip West were downstairs waiting in the room, and the member for St. James North, he was then a senator, were all downstairs waiting in the inner dining room while we were waiting for the same leader of the opposition who committed to the meeting and bringing all of his members to the meeting for a lunch that was catered for them to the meeting. They had the lunch, but they didn't come to the meeting. This is the same honorable gentleman. I have been stung once. I have been stung twice. Today is the third time. It's true that he did not speak to us directly on this. He spoke to the country on June 16th. Now, if the honorable member had said in here that I don't like this provision for the monitoring committee, and I feel that it is not sufficient for that committee to be appointed by political persons in the form of a minister, can we meet and change this? I would have said, let us do so. And the part of me that now has to go beyond duty and to stand up not for me or the Labour Party, but for Barbados, is going to stand on this floor of the House today and say that we will amend this bill in this Parliament to ensure that those three persons on the monitoring committee are appointed by the President of Barbados without consultation with either the Prime Minister or the Leader of the Opposition, so that there is no risk of political interference, as he would suggest to the country.
I tell you, you cannot make this up, because quite frankly, basically, as far as I'm concerned, this was just handed over to her on a silver platter. Now, I don't know the details behind it. Like I said, I didn't do the research on if he did say those things or not, if he was in that position where he is actually agreeing with it. I suspect that might be the case, because from my understanding, Mr. Pisa also spoke on the matter, and it doesn't sound like she's opposing this. What I'm saying to you, Barbados, is that this is serious. Very serious. Either they're ignorant to the fact or part and parcel, a part of it. You see, this is where the question now comes in. Well, wait a minute. You mean to tell me you ain't opposing this thing, though? So if you was in her shoes, you would have done the same thing, and you say you want to lead the people. This is why I'm telling y'all people, shout out to Barbados National Congress, because there's no way we was going to let that fly. We know where this is going, man. The man just told you, controlling the data. We are looking to control people and clone them and alter them and hack them, because we have the data in order to do so. Pick it up, man. Emmanuel, you need vector to spread that malware. Man, Sean, you can get me in some positions here. For sure, for sure. Native folks used to be able to communicate telepathically. Sounds like a return to the higher self is in order. Communication via the ether. Well, for those of us who've been practicing already, sis, we know how that works all too well. That's why we could come and do the things we do. The truth is, not all folks was on that realm. Not all. Section 13, Section 21. I see, Lisa, you've been doing some work. You've been doing some work. That's right. That's right. As they want to start playing games, man. Now we're going to discover whether or not we have the Constitution or not. But go check it out, though, Lisa. Okay, so I'm behind here now. Let me see if I get these comments in between. Man, hold on. Wait a minute. I got another video. Hang on. I got one more for you, man. I got one more. I think I got one more. Let me see. This is it right here. Hang on. Like I said, the reason for all of this is to put more fear into the people of Barbados. More fear. More fear, man. Just more fear. Every you turn around, just fear, more fear. That group, NSO, all these, in fact, a few more CEOs have stepped down since then again. A few more. Until it didn't make sense, it didn't make sense. But hold on. I want to play this video clip real quick here, coming from a different aspect of Barbados. A gentleman named Mark Hamilton has something to say about the tints in Barbados. As an individual who runs a business, apparently he has a fleet of luxury vehicles, and to change the tint is not as simple as we think. In fact, a lot of vehicles come with glass in the back that is built into the tint, not like tint on the glass. But we all listen to this very carefully. This is quite interesting. Quite interesting. You can't, it didn't make any sense, man. You can't make daffodil. It didn't make any sense. Listen to this here, family. Somebody come listen to this. Come listen to this. Mr. Mark Hamilton, I don't know who you are, man, but School them. Hold on, listen to somebody.
Glass is a delicate item. Is generally shipped, in very large boxes, which are padded and so on to ensure the glass gets from one location next in one piece. It's often shipped by sea in order to get the cost down, and therefore there's a significant timeline, generally speaking, between order and availability in Barbados. So there are several issues which I believe that the powers that be will have to examine as they roll out this new legislation, some of which may not have been considered at the time. I can't speak with absolute authority on it, but I mean a windscreen can run anywhere between $12 to $3,000 or $4,000, depending on $1,200 to $1,200 to $3,000 or $4,000, depending on the the size of the windscreen, the type of the windscreen. The windscreens now come with a lot of extra technology in them to do with laying, changing and with the cameras and the sensors, and there's a lot of additional equipment, additional technology. It's not just a piece of glass like the old days. So, the several hurdles to overcome. And again, as I said, one of those will be potentially the timing of this and the cost.
Timing and the cost. So, like I said, it's quite interesting. I said this before. If the government want you to change your tint, let them foot the bill. Because here it is now, you have a luxury vehicle that came custom a certain way, and it not tint where your tints on it, but the glass is already customized a certain way. Are you supposed to change that? You're supposed to go and buy new glass? You're supposed to just go and buy some glass, have ceramic inlays. I don't know. So my point is, what are you supposed to do now? All that was distraction. Ain't nobody paying that no mind. You really think police got enough, to walk out and just check cars left, right, and center? It's all crime, right? So let me see if we get this. So who gonna chase the criminals then? The spyware, the interception phone calls? Man, this is just madness, absolute madness. And Mr. Mark Hamilton, who is the spokesman for the Barbados Automobile Dealers Association, let's kind of pull it in perspective from the perspective of the lighter sector of the Barbados part that, they're more prone to listen to. Let me see what Dan Marshall got to say to that now, right? Let's stay tuned for that one, family. Oh, by the way, hold on, Aziza. She said, the people must express their sovereign rights. All Father who art in heaven, which is the first government, the highest order, divine order. You do not owe anybody on earth any obligation to be controlled by them. Trust me, it's all a fraud, family. Don't let them fool you. These are policy enforcers, so law enforcers. They know law. The Barbados Police Service do not enforce law. They enforce policy. That's why on their vehicles, on their chests, or wherever, it is written police. You don't see the word law anywhere in their jurisdiction and their designation. They are policy enforcers. And by policy, I mean policies of the corporation is what they're enforcing. That's all. But if you choose to acquiesce to that, then that was by your choice. However, if you are governed by consent and you choose not to consent, then that means you cannot be governed by them. Do not let them fool you. Dan Marshall has no authority to tell you anything. He's just hoping you listen to him. I suggest you listen to the voice of God. That's what I suggest, man. Come out of her, my people. It is that time to check your phone. Okay, Alex is giving us some information here. Now, again, family, there are some hacks you can do to find out stuff. Yes, but I'm going to say this to you. If you're not sure what you're doing, find somebody who does, because you can go ahead, man, and mess your whole phone right up and got it back to basics. So if you don't know what you're doing, Alex, let somebody know, check with certain, other people who might know, or Google it. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to do stuff, yes, but definitely check your phone. As a matter of fact, to deal with Pegasus, one of the other things to do, because it's a zero, zero zone. The way this phone thing works, where they don't have to have your phone, they can simply call your phone as a missed call. I got one this morning, bright and early. A missed call or a fake call, somebody call your phone and it's the wrong number, whatever. They can log on just like that. Just by a phone call, they can log into your phone. Whether you answer it in most cases or not, just a missed call. They call and hang up. But here's the deal. One of the things you could do is reset your phone every morning, turn it off and turn it on. Because of that, you can have it. I mean, again, you can't really avoid it totally, but you can do little things to frustrate it. Like just now, I see y'all. I've been noticing y'all doing that. When your phone start to do things, like do commands and stuff, when you're not even touching it. I've been telling y'all that for a while. Like I've been knew they're watching me. I ain't worried about that. Me ain't scared of no ghosts. They gotta wonder who watching them when they watching me. What I'm gonna tell you is this also, family. One of the other things you can do is recognize that. Here's another thing. Because it uses data to send information, you're gonna notice that you may have a high data usage. My question is, are they using your data that you're paying for to send information? Is that what it is? Are they using your data to send information? In which case, you might have a higher bill. Who's paying for that? You know, so like I said, think about lawsuits, family. Think about how you plan to address this. Think about what you plan to do and definitely go from there. That's the bottom line. They want to legalize. It means that we're illegal doing it. Of course, they've been doing it. Like, oh, now I'm talking, they start doing it because the phone was fine all along. Now it's just changing screens and all kind of stuff. Like, you know, that's their best way of trying to let me know what I've been already knew. I mean, I've been knew this from way back. I don't know this now. This ain't nothing new. They've been at my doorstep. On the power of the Trinity is what we're dealing with. You see what I'm saying? That is it. You have to be very careful how y'all proceed here. Be very careful. Are you removing my text, Rastaman? Wait, I ain't removed nothing, brethren. We're getting on, Kev. Rastafari. Dalton was tapping Violet Beckles every night when COP Dalton and David Simmons were tapping. I'm telling you, we know what they were doing, Alex. We know what they was doing, man. We know. I see Gitmo, Alligator Island, and Diego Garcia in their future to be continued. Once you know, is the judge the judge signing a warrant selected by the Barbados people or by the elected officials? That's the question now. She's simply saying that they're giving some power to the president to make decisions about who get to do this and that and 24th. Listen, man, they're going to tell you everything they need to hear, but they're going to do this. This is happening. Plain and simple, man. Plain and simple, man. This is not a in between. This is, yes, this is happening. Israel Zionists are the enemy of everyone. Speaking of Zionists and everyone, maybe I should play that last video. Again, it's about scare tactics, but the only thing you got to worry about is ignorance and not knowing. But anyhow, shout out to you, Rhonda. Good to see you, Rhonda. Ziza, let's get the International Court of Criminal Justice on the hotline. Yeah, this is going to be real interesting, Aziza. That's why I said I put the codes up there. I placed them up there before. Y'all see them. In fact, I should probably put them up again real quick for those who are now tuning in. There are a few things. I think Rosemary mentioned it just now too. I don't know if I can find them right now. Yes. So like I said, in Barbados, if you're now tuning in, it's a violation of the Constitution, Section 13. I think Lisa says Section 21 as well. Also, it's a violation of the Computer Misuse Act, unauthorized access to a computer system. If somebody hacked your phone is a computer system, plain and simple. It's also a violation of the Data Protection Act, unlawful possession and collection of personal data. So they're going to have to get their ducks in a row, but because they're so eager, they're prone to mess up. Overwhelm them. It's also Telecommunications Act, Cap 282B, interception of private communication without judicial authority. So all that talk about, they get these warrants and stuff and all that, they first have to have probable cause. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, it's called something else in Barbados, but it's the same thing. Why they checking your phone? Because they suspect you're involved in criminal activity. Well, take me, for example. What criminal activity they suspect I'm involved in? I could be so fortunate. Yes, God will judge them, but people need to stand up and stop being so fearful. I agree with you, Marcia, for sure. Greetings to you too, Aaron. Alex is saying after each get their $50 million check, they step down, and another wait for their to share, another wait for their share. Mia went to spy who running for office. It's not for crime, but for Barbados, the LP. Yeah, I agree with you, Alex. They're not just for crime. This is before election. Let's get to tell them who's doing what, when, and where. There ain't no crime in Barbados. We ain't got no terrorists around here. We ain't got no crime syndicates around here. Like she said, a couple of young people with a couple of guns. If it's that insignificant, then why this sophisticated stuff? Got to get an alternative phone, SO, or go back to BlackBerry. Alternative phone operating system, or go back to BlackBerry. BlackBerry was also research in motion, so that was a little tricky. But what I would tell you this, there are devices on the market right now that uses basically a whole different system, like a ham radio, but they're small like phones. But my thing, family, we ain't gotta go through all that, man. We ain't gotta go through all that. What we gotta do is get rid of them. Get rid of them. Clear, man. Bottom line. I told somebody today I need to get back a pager if they are still around. Oh, so you see how the pay phones gone? Won't be using the pay phones like before, man. I love Zanis. We are living in this script in real time. This is a blackmailing tool. Yes, Pedro. Yes, Pedro. Hit the nail on the head, Pedro. Hit the nail on the head, Pedro. Straight up. That's what it's for. Judith Ann Clark, good night to you too, everyone. Give thanks for tuning in. Be up out of here real quick. They're pushing tribal war, man. They want us to fight each other. They want the people in the system, the middle class, whoever. We're wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It ain't got nothing to hide. We ain't got nothing to worry about. Listen, your bank records. They could tap your bank records, going see all this cyber crime and all this other stuff now. All this information. Where they plan to secure this information. You want to see that they got hacked the other day. Even Pegasus people get hacked the other day, and thousands of people lost information. Imagine that. Imagine they got your data and a lot of other people's data, bank accounts, your passcode, whatever. You understand how dangerous this is? No, they can't collect that, and they can't store it in one location because even the company that created the software was hacked, and countless people's information got leaked. Come on, man. Y'all must be crazy, man. BLP, DLP, y'all better wake up, man. They don't have nothing good for you, and they both support it. Like I said, I don't know if Mr. Thorne said that or not. I'm sure if I'm in error, my number's on the screen. Feel free to call me and correct me. But Joe, look at the people in that country. Look at the degradation. The degenerate behavior that they do. What country is this, by the way? Degenerate behavior. What country is that? What country are you referring to, man? Oh, Israel? No comment. No comment. Biggest criminal, the AG deal. Marsh never stopped telling lies. He has been a liar for more than 30 years and also abuse of old people. Yeah, Alex. I realize that. I realize that, man. I mean, I'm seeing that more and more. And the thing is, people got the nerve, right, to be around this individual, knowing certain things, and not like they don't know it. And because you say something, they got something to tell you. Why don't you find the courage to tell him something, huh? Straight. 1984 by George Orwell. Brave New World, An Island by Aldous Helix. Have a read. All right, Glenn. Glenn, what's up with you, man? I ain't see you in a minute. All is well? 10:27 p.m. Wait, that's what time it is? Okay, man, that time it was. All right, I'm out of here, family. I say again that she is not the one that's running things. Nah, Marcia, we know for sure she ain't running things. That's why we gonna make this thing happen, man. You can come out the closet in that country, however, not in neighbors, not its neighbors. Man. So what are we going to do about it? Like I said, you got to safeguard your ends. You got to get rid of the system from out of your head. Seek your own sovereignty. So to Barbados National Congress, I already tell you all over and over. Simple as that. There ain't nothing else you could do. The rat is a long time crook. The rat is not fit. The rat knows all things. Do not be fooled by the rat. I wish y'all would stop calling this, well, stop using that term to describe someone. It is not right. Humans will be hackable. Once you realize that, this guy works for one of the most wicked companies on earth. You mean when I was just referring to the guy just now in the video? Y'all ain't listening, man. They gonna learn though. They gonna yearn. Get rid of the useless eaters himself. Once you know, that's what it is. We will sue them into oblivion. Yeah, I mean, at some point, that you see what that does, because you're dealing with people at this level. The key is to overwhelm and frustrate them. So whereas they pushing back to you, you push back with them as well. Frustrate them. And while they're so frustrated and so busy doing all this other extra work that they had no plans to be doing, and they don't, and you know they ain't gonna want to do it. Believe you me, in the interim, we plan and move in quiet and secret. Maria, not all things are to be said on politically incorrect, especially in these times. I've been in stealth mode, and I said I was going to do it. A lot of folks didn't believe me. Been in stealth mode, man. He is a hateful non-breed. I'm not even getting anyhow. Yeah, right. Okay, that's a lot of information there, Sonny. That's a lot of information. Yeah. Listen, y'all be nice, man. Be nice. They're going to accomplish it because Israel is one big military base. Nah, they're not gonna accomplish it. It only seemed that way. Maureen, I see that you've been doing some research. Yes, it was Israel government that remotely blew up some phones in Iran a few months ago. I don't know if they were phones. I think they were two-way radios, but it might have been phones as well. But yes, that's the kind of technology they're working with these days. So all I'm saying is, don't fall for it, family. They're pushing civil war, tribal war. They want us to fight each other. Commandeered are in BIM. They want us to, well, I don't know why they're here, but I'm just saying. That means your bank account, everything will disappear. That's what I'm saying. That's why I tell you, take the money off the bank so you ain't got to worry about going on the bank, checking nothing online with your login password and all that. They're going to see all the money. Guess what? So even if you laundering money, your accounts where you go and check this stuff, they're going to access it. They're going to see what you got there because they can't go to the bank technically. But here we are now. Boy, I tell you, man. Anyhow, family, I got a whole lot of comments here. He's the same man that said humans are hackable animals. Yes, that is the same man that said that. Sonny, you are correct. He married to a man. Stop saying that. I don't know. Look, I don't know who's married to no man or which man. Don't even make them kind of comments on here. I made that comment once, man, and all hell broke loose. Only success will only succeed if people allow. That's right, Pedro. Allow leaders to develop dictatorial habits. You know what? That's why we got to get back to the empire, man. They're moving like the Nazis, man. That's why we got to get back to the empire, man. Long live the empire, man. Straight up, man. Trump is no longer a part of the World Health Organization. Trump is a decoy. Good wins over evil all day, every day. Correct. Anyhow, family. 61 dead last week. Where is this, Alex? To the fan club, beards and t-shirt, bikini, and bikinis are extinct. Bees and t-strings. Oh man, I am sorry. Oh man, I wouldn't. Wow. Well, give thanks to that one, man. Nazis is a child of Zionism. Facts. Is Israel's service and army? Is in Israel's service and army? I think so. Sean, you may got to update that one for me. ISIS, I see you, man. Anyhow, global climate mascot. Jefferson, give thanks. Shout to you. Big up, boss. Keep up the good works. Give thanks, family. Same to you, family. All day, every day. Shout to everybody watching Politically Incorrect. Anyhow, we up out of here. We up out of here. We up out of here. Strong wind knew where old house is. I like that. Strong wind knows where old house is. I like that. Old houses is. I like that. I like them old sayings, man. Reminds me of Aunt Rose, man. My grandmother, man. May she rise continually in power, man. May the ancestors guide us and give us the strength of millions, man, guiding us into this time. We are the light that coming out the dark. We are the light. We're going to continue to shine, man. Shout out to the whole people in the Caribbean that right now tired of the nonsense, that looking to make moves and doing things. Service in the army is mandatory in your youths. Yeah, you got you, Sean. And that's what we're lacking in Barbados. All your men ain't got no direction or purpose, man. That's all it is. They've been watching 246BeijingRadio.com. We answer questions. Listen, Alex. I can let that slide cause you my people here. I can let that slide, Alex, because you my people, man. But Beijing 246 radio vibes? Nah. I don't support that kind of way. I can tell you why if you ask me in person. Straight. But anyhow, everybody got their calling, right? So I am mad. Man. Don't forget that ChatGPT can't create evidence with your voice. Listen, I've been on here so long, my face and my voice. Look, family, whatever they do at this point, I'm trusting in the Almighty to continually guide I and I. More strength, more fire. You see what I'm saying? Straight up. We can't even worry about nothing like that. I can't even study nothing like that. I trust in the gods, man. I trust in the gods that got their own artificial intelligence, their own alien intelligence, I should say, rather. The original AI to keep I and I Rastafari. That's what I'm dealing with. So I ain't studying them at all. Demons gonna be demons. Well, let's let them do their thing, sonny. We demon slayers. We ain't worried about them at all. I mean, at all. To get this dissenting voices sing in consensus. Well, I know, Pedro. I don't know. It's that time though. So who is going to keep us safe from them? It's this. You got to go into yourself. That's why the Bible says, come out of her. Come out the system and go into yourself. Connect with your divine source that dwells therein. Trust when I tell you. There's greatness inside of you. You just got to unlock it. Beer Mark Sport Talk. Making Mark Sport at we. Yeah, let him. Making Beer Mark Sport at we. But we need that though. That's why we say we need that. Let Miss Motley do what she's called to do. We need that. Escape or let go. We need that because if they don't do all of this, folks, right now they're just too comfortable though. They need shaking up. That's why me and Motley is the best thing that ever happened to Barbados, man. Best thing, man. You ain't listening, you're gonna listen now though. Keep playing around, man. Keep thinking it's a game, man. Sounds like we are all going to be live actors in the dystopian movie. It's not the dystopian movie. No. Minority Report, nah. We won't be that. No, we won't be that. Some might be, but even in the movie, there were those that were functioning outside the grid. Let's keep that in mind, man. We will not be conquered. We will not be slaves. Long live the empire, man. then was let go. Of course, Aaron, you know what time it is. Phone tapping is not a crime prevention tool. It is used solely to suppress dissent by prosecuting through the speech. I agree. Thought and speech. Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree. Crime prevention equals pre-crime. That's what she just said, Sean. Minority Report in real time. Yes, King Emmanuel, they can fool some people some of the time, but they can't fool all the people all the time. Straight up. Stand up for your rights. Greetings to you too, family. Greetings, greetings. Marketing, greetings to you too, Sonny. No one is coming to save you. You have to take responsibility for yourself and your family. Stop being a victim. Be a warrior. Yeah, Sonny, talk the talk, man. The savior you've been looking for is in the mirror. The savior you're looking for is in the mirror. Take a look into your eyes and realize true lies and recognize that you got to resurrect that God that dwells within. Straight. Speak those things that aren't as though they are and call it into being. Manifestation time, family. You got to be able to walk on water in these times and fly, soar, penetrate. You know what I mean? Straight. Big facts, man. Straight up. That's what time it is, man. Anyhow, family, there's so many comments. I don't want to skip them. I try to walk through them, but the time, man, like 2.5 hours. I cannot stare for 3 hours, man. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. I got some things I gotta go and address, man. So look here, man. She only like poor people to see them begging to control them, like the planted class. She loves to speak of. Pedro, truth is, right? Amongst us, there are beings that have work to do, and we got to just focus on doing the work. That's what it is, man. Their job is not to rescue us. We're here to save ourselves, man. These people pretend to care about people. They were never put there to care about us. That's not their job, though, Mr. Ward. I feel you on that. Don't get me wrong, but that's not their job. Common purpose. Look it up. That's not their job, family. We got to care for us. That's what's up, man. These people in power have no conscience. No, Aaron, they don't have the power. We have the power. We got to stop giving up the power. Straight up. You got to stop giving up the power, man. Stop pontificating with these people. Straight up. They are the cause of the crime that we are having allegedly now. You introducing wiretapping legislation to spy on so-called criminals. I should tell you something. So imagine politicians cannot run a successful campaign against them because they're listening to everything you planning and plotting. This was all set up. That's right. That's right. China, for sure, for sure. You can't trust a regime that imported a jab that destroyed families and still doing it 4 years later. Deception 101. Talk to the prison workers and the nurses. I'm sure there are other people in Barbados who have not been paid. I'm sure some folks got paid, depending on which circle you circle in. Or let me phrase that. Depending on which circle you walk around squarely in. Or depending on which square you circle around. Ooh-wee. Political ping pong at its best. I tell you, man, it's brainwashing thing to make Bajans feel that the country is so bad. I tell you, right? You see it. The only thing in Barbados that's bad is these government offices, man, how they function. I've been trying to reach the office of the Prime Minister office, the office of the Prime Minister, the Culture Department forever. Don't nobody answer the phone? Like, don't nobody answer the phone, period. You go to the office is empty. The building is apparently sick. Why is it that always the government office buildings be sick? Wait, what's up with that? The buildings be sick. No matter where you go, the government office buildings be sick. I hope y'all didn't see that little shift, right? Because you might say, no, my eyes shifting reptilian or some alien or something. I might be coming for the politicians, man. It's time to free my people. That's what time it is, man. Hope y'all know that. Politicians ping pong at its best. Political ping pong at its best. Mark will be given an exemption. Pedro, I love Pedro here. Pedro don't play with nobody. He just drop it. No respect to a person. Pedro, full respect to you for that, my brother. Always, man. Always, man. I personally know someone whose car has a tint built into the glass. I know they are not changing any windows. Maureen, I'm telling you, I'm not worried about them either. My tint built into my vehicle. It's built into the glass. I ain't changing nothing. Straight. Let it know now. I ain't changing nothing. Don't pull me over. Don't ask me no questions. I do not answer questions. I do not recognize your authority. Straight. I do not. So don't even think about it, man. Don't tint about it, man. Straight. I hope Pegasus caught that one. They always call it mandates. It's not law. Yeah, mandates and law, family. Anyhow, family, like I said, man, y'all got me on here for 2.5 hours, man. I gotta go. They never think, they just do. Utter madness. Straight up. Straight up, man. Shout out to Mr. Drake's blessed love, people. Straight up, straight up, straight up. Insisting that people be, insisting the people to be educated. Maureen, I don't know if that's the case, though. Education and intelligence, we must make sure we draw a line between the two. Criminal activity is overthrowing the BLP regime. Oh, serious, man. Anyhow, man, I gotta go. Man, Motley is extremely, extremely desperate to retain power and cannot show how the guns are coming in the country. Man, look, salute to people here. The people paying attention. Me up to now, the Auditor General report is not known, or will it ever be known, as millions already spent is not sufficiently known. Listen, that's what I'm talking about, man. And Dale Marshall ain't addressing them issues so quickly. Straight up. Shout out to you two, family. Greetings to you two, family. Family, you and the family. You know the horror side, the Bar Association is saying nothing. Are waiting to take our money for representation on cases. Of course, the bar can't say nothing. The bar is involved in this, believe it or not. Don't get tight with it. All these laws and bills are written by lawyers who are part of the bar. Do not forget that. Do not forget that. Neil Rowe ain't write no bills in Parliament. Straight. And that's not an insult to Neil Rowe. It's just that Neil Rowe ain't writing no bills in Parliament. Miss Cattle ain't writing no bills in Parliament. That's not an insult to Miss Cattle. She just ain't doing it. None of them other cats in Parliament who are in a certain status ain't writing no bills in Parliament. Come on, man. It's an illusion of power. They don't have any. The people got the power, man. We got to stop giving it up. Daffodil, Lioness, first of all, underpaid BPS will be selling info just to make a living. Hustle beyond. Corruption on another level. Straight. Bottom line, man. Bottom line. You know, said it right there. That's why they want to bring the lie detector test, because they want to start testing people in certain positions. I hope that everybody refuses to take the lie detector test. Then they can repurpose you somewhere else. Then they got to bring in the people they said it was going to bring in anyhow, because that was their plan. If you could refuse it and they're going to replace and they're going to remove you, well, guess what? Sure. The distractions is real. I'm telling you, man, I don't have the bank account. But Rhonda, lucky you, man. Lucky you. I don't do, okay, nothing online, right? Anyhow, family. Beverly, good night to you too. Have a blessed night to you and everyone else for sure. Wendell, give thanks. Family, night all, family. I'm sorry I missed it. You missed it. You ain't missed it. Catch it on the replay, man. Catch it on the replay. Shout out to moms again. Moms, love you as always. Good. The matriarch. I don't know, Maureen. I don't know, man. We have to put you down to sit down with moms and have a conversation with back in the days. Good night to you too, Maureen. Rest well. They said no rest for the weary. Take care, everyone. I'll be on here again on Wednesday, part 3 of this series. We're going to touch on it again on a different level, though. Distractions when technology advances are exposed and leaked. There's usually technology that is light years ahead that we don't know about. That is an absolute fact. So trust me, don't worry about Pegasus. They're only saying that, but trust me, they got other stuff in place, man. Let it fool you. But definitely be aware of Pegasus, because, like I said, it can be used for nefarious reasons, seriously, especially in a political climate for political gain. Let alone the criminals or the terrorists. I know we had both of them. Barbados ain't got no criminals. We got some misguided youth that's making wrong decisions, being guided by adults with ambitions for other purposes. But nevertheless, fox guarding the hen house, don't expect to come back and find your chicks. Yo, Pam, I miss you tonight, man. You be having those one-liners. You know it is. Until you back it against the wall, your God shall will. Until your back is against the wall, your God self will come forward. Jeez, on man. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Powerful, powerful, powerful words from the family. Again, shout out to the whole Fade group. Shout out to the whole Barbados National Congress. Shout out to Kata. Shout out to the region. Shout out to the Antilles. Shout out to the Antilles, man. Like, I loving the Caribbean people here. The Caribbeans, man. Straight up. The dark times bring out the goddess in you. You know what? I'm going to say, Rowan, the dark times bring out the God in all of us. You know what I'm saying? Not just goddess, but God in all of us. All of us. Man and woman, man. We support each other. Man, woman, and child. The power of the Trinity. Haile Selassie the first. I hope that when the bell ring, change will come. No, Marcia, this is a symbol of change. What we are doing is a symbol of change. We can do this before. Folks be telling me, you ain't scared. I be thinking, if I ain't scared, shucks. They're the ones that should be scared. We shouldn't be scared. We're the ascending ones. They're the descending ones. Their house imploding. Our house is rising. Our sun is rising. There's a setting. We ain't got that worry. We the light that come out the dark, man. We're the rising ones, family. Know that. Know that, man. Building syndrome is a constant thing in Barbados. Yeah, killing the people slowly at work, man. Anyhow, family, we out. Pedro, Pam is telling you that you drunk on jokes already. Are y'all having fun, man? Listen, family, give thanks. Awesome show, Emmanuel. Thelma, I give thanks to you too. We already spoke, Thelma. You know what to do. Holla at me. Holla at me. You and, in fact, both of you holla at me. I ain't calling names. Y'all already know. Let's have a threesome. Let's give me a shout. Unless the people decide that they have had enough, the affairs will continue simply so. But you know what, Rowan? It is written to continue. But what is also written is our victory. We must recognize that. Rastafari, Ashe. Everything going on now was planned already, put into play. Ivor, good night to you too, Ivor. Good to see you. Good to see you. Pedro, don't do that, Pedro. Be easy, be easy, be easy. Till next time, Fox. Till next time, Fox. Wendell, I got you covered, man. Good night, good night. Good night to everyone. Good night to you too, Thelma. Hold on, before you go though, let me say this, man. Like I said, they're trying to promote tribal war, trying to promote, civil war, civil unrest, so they could control it. Because again, like I said, if you want to know who's prepared for, if you want to know who's expecting a riot, look at who's preparing for it. If you want to know who's expecting a riot, look at who's preparing for it. And we can see right now, without a question of a shadow of a doubt, make no mistake about it, we know who is preparing for it. They have shown us enough. They brought out their new shiny toys during Crop Over, right? So that you could see that they got some new shiny toys. But guess what? Go Google it and you will see how to deal with them shiny toys. I ain't saying nothing else. All them toys is get deal with. Don't get tired with it. The people have always been victorious. Keep that in mind. Empires rise and empires have fallen. We the people will always be here, man.
Sure.
And this last Empress presented it.
Oh, it was happening.
One perfect dollar.
It was happening. Tribal war. Yeah. We don't want no more Azan.
Rastafari.
Tribal war. I know that we are defending. I give the praises the morning, yeah, when I heard the people singing, yeah, mother was saying, the gangsters sitting up and eating coffee, one by one they take a little soap, saying the war is over, no more war, no more war. They now see themselves in you.
I like this one, family. I love this one right here, man.
No more war, no more war.
If they are politically in,
We don't want no more Ada.
you got to do the work correctly, man. That's energy, family. I feel you, family. I feel you, man.
Tribal war. I know that we are defending.
We gonna do this, family.
And all we need is love, yeah, and a little harmony. Gangsters seated up and eating coffee. One by one they take a little soap, saying the war is over. No more war, no more war. They now see themselves in unity, yeah, celebrating with better calling. No more war, no more war.
No more war, family. We gonna set up the community for real, man. Community love across the region, man. Island to island, man. Like how it was before, family. It was in the beginning. Shall it be in these times, family? They're trying to push an agenda. The writing is on the wall, family. Those who have eyes to see, and ears to hear. I see and hear. One by one, they take a little slow, man. Tribal war.
Oh, it was happening.
Peace and harmony, family. Peace and harmony is what we're looking for, family. Pay attention, family. Beverly, this is one for you, Beverly. Add this to the box, man.
We don't want no more Ada. No, 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 no. Tribal war.
The Battle of Adwa. He's on Daffodil. The Battle of Adwa, family. Never heard of it? Google it. Ethiopia victory. Africa's victory. Check it out. Check it out. So the Mayo, man. Not I, but Christ that dwells within Marcia. Can't take no credit for what I do here, man. It's the power of the Most High, sis.
Tribal war. We don't want no more Ada.
No more tribal war, family. Peace and harmony is what we're dealing with right now. No more tribal war. You hear me? Them days done. Well, having said that, I must say I'm going to play the tune again, or one of our new intros. Since Maria love it so much, I can play it for Maria just again. You know Maria loving it, man. I got you, Maria. I can drop it again, man. I don't know if I can find the rest of the video though. The other one. I looking for it. I didn't see it. I just kind of grabbed that video. But anyhow, that was kind of a generic thing, but don't watch the face. I can hook it up. I can hook it up. But anyhow, family, I give thanks again as always for taking your time, energy, synergy in this reality so we can converse about the things going on socially that are impacting on us, impacting on our children, our grandparents, our parents, the whole Caribbean, man. So we got to figure this thing out. Like Sister said, build your communities. But in order to build your community, you got to build your family. In order to build your family, you got to build yourself. So man, woman, know thyself. Look into yourself and rise above these times. Don't let them fool you or penetrate you with these fear tactics and scare tactics. Trust when I tell you, the Almighty shall deliver us. We've done it before, we'll do it again. Straight. But it's time to leave Egypt, family. It is time. Time to leave Egypt, family. Come out to her, my people, and be separated. Straight. This isn't about religion, this isn't about politics, about education, nothing. It's about love, man. And trust me, how much more we can defend love? If they're willing to defend hate and the wickedness them is due, how much more should we be able to defend love and unity? We defending it. Keepers of the faith. That's why Wilfred, Marshall, all of them know that they're time limited. They know. You think they don't know? You think Wilfred don't know? Can't be in your right mind. Function like that. Left them people in the prison like that. Left them, men and inmates. There, of course, some people might have broken some rules. Most guys may have psychological issues for whatever reason, abuse or whatever. But they're not beyond being remedied and reconciliation. They're not beyond that. Got a lot of good men inside there locked down, exposed to all kind of dangers now because of what? When they're playing around, you got staff in there that locked down, exposed to all kind of stuff, frustrated, getting homesick, can't function, stress, up all night, making themselves more sick because they already got issues. Meanwhile, you shopping in the pantry, getting home pork and all sort of thing. You making sport, Wilfred. I can't even call you by your last name, Wilfred. Look, man. Remember the last time you saw me? What I told you? Face to face, man to man. What I told you? You remember what you told me? Yeah. Family, let me get out of here, man. Let me go on because I feel that kind of vibe, but I ain't even feeling that kind of vibe. I ain't even want to do that right now. So let me do what I did earlier.
Barbados, sweet paradise.
The energy flowing, man.
But the politics full of lies.
Full of lies, man.
They want mash up the culture, tear it to the ground. But the people, we stand strong, we hold the rock down. Wake up, shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up. Wake up, shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up. It's time to rise. Time to see clear. Time to open we eyes. Tell a friend to tell a friend if you don't mind. Real news for the people in real time. Enough love, enough respect. Welcome to politically incorrect. Politically incorrect. Enough love, enough respect. Welcome to politically incorrect. Politically incorrect. Wake up, shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up. Hey! Wake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up. Wake up.
Yes, family, they say wake up, family. I always thought that was the full version of the song. It's actually a full version of the whole song, like another verse and everything. That young lady, man, put that together. She's so talented. I don't even know what to say, boy. It's just energy. But anyhow, Y'all have a great night. Full joy your night. Think about these things, man, and tell a friend, man. Straight. Just tell a friend, man. Anyhow, on that note, man, I go in the kitchen, man. I gotta go and cook. That's what happened. I gotta go and cook, so I got food in the morning. I go in and do one of my special dishes, some fettuccine and some red lentil and vegetable sauce. Yeah, that's what's up. The sun-dried tomatoes, the plantain. Y'all already know what time it is. Ayo, man. Ayo. The Fed days are numbered, and he knows it. Of course, I like that. You, Isis, it's good to see you, though, man. That's what he said. I got 9 minutes till midnight. I might as well stay, right? Boy, y'all, look, man, don't do it to me. Sitting, look, Daffodil, you dance to the bed all now. I might just put that on one more time, man, before we go out. Pam, you gotta give me a shout ASAP. They better wake up out them coma illusion. The truth is, right? And the truth is, family, I'll say this before I go. Gideon's army, we don't need 30,000, man. We don't need 33,000. Let me just play with some numbers. We don't need 33,000. We just need a faithful 300. You see what I'm saying? It don't require everybody, because everybody don't have to go. But those who go understand the journey that they're going on. They fully understand it. They came for that journey. You know what I'm saying? So the others could live. The dangerous ones, eh? The ones that the politicians cannot control. And they know it. I just love this song here. Boy, look, don't start me. Don't start me. Oh, man, y'all is just crazy. Yeah, I hear you, man. Good to see you, Ron. Good to see you too, Isis, man. Jackie, Purifier, good to see you. Love. Marcia, you've been good. Who is she that wrote the song? That's Naya. I actually, this is a stranger. I met her once in Barbados, in passing. She was kind of stranded. She was here with her mom. Her mom was ill. I don't know if I should say this, but she had some medical issues, and they came here for surgery and stuff. And so then she had to leave and go back to America where they live. She takes care of her mom, to my knowledge. But I haven't heard in a long time. And recently we started chatting a couple of days, well, a week or so ago. And I was telling her with the program and stuff. She didn't even know. When she saw the first, but that's one of them, she sent me back a whole bunch of stuff, and I was shocked. So I was like, wait, how much I got to pay for this, you know? And she said basically that this was in her way of repaying me for how I assisted her and her mother when they were stranded. And it was moving. I never even thought of it like that. Like someone would go to the extent of doing so much work. I mean, I just did it because that's me. That's how my mother raised me. But man, look, man. So I really don't even know her. I think she teaches at a university. I think she's a teacher at a university somewhere. I remember she did say that, and we did speak about the school we were looking at having here. That's why in passing. And she insisted she wrote a number on a $10 bill and gave me, or 20 US, whatever. And then that was it. And I kept it actually. But anyhow, I don't know much about her, Marcia, but the energy is there, and she definitely gifted in a way that I'm seeing for the first time. But anyhow, maybe one of these nights we get to come on and talk about it. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But anyhow, thank y'all. I hope that's 9 minutes, Marcia. I hope that's 9 minutes. Hopefully. But again, family, give thanks. Y'all have a blissful night, a reflective night on the things we discussed. Because although these things are all happening, Maria said it best. What do we do next? You deal with yourself, man. We all got we little thing that ain't important. Work on you, build self, become aware, be conscious of what's happening around you. Work on your family. And family is not always relative. That's another conversation. Work on your community. We all done did things and been over things. Learn to forgive people. Learn to let go of things. Deal with your own healing and raise your consciousness, raise your frequency, and connect with like-minded beings, man. As far as the money in the bank, like I said, take it out. Find ways to invest it in other ways. If you don't know how to invest it, give me a call. The number's on the screen. That is easy. We got a number of things going on. You're more than welcome to inquire if you're interested. But don't leave it in the bank, for Christ's sake. I mean, for Christ's sake. Nah, that ain't going to happen. So be in touch. Keep good. And connect on Wednesday, family. In the meantime, wake up the people, man.
Barbados,
Yeah.
sweet paradise.
Just for you, Daffodil. Just for
They
you,
want
man.
mash up